All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope this doesn't lag like yesterday, but it's game time. So we don't have much today. Again, tomorrow is where you're going to be getting all the data, CPI and all that. Yesterday, we had a lot more on the trade deal. This morning, we heard about London and everything going on with the U.S. and all of that, but nothing has gone. We haven't gotten any noticeable development. So other than that, it's about individual movers. You're probably going to hear more about oil and other things overseas, but generally we are waiting for the action and the data to start taking off. So you're going to hear a little bit here or there. There's already, again, a lot of headlines from Apple to Meta to TSM and even NVO. So we'll see where it leads us. But Chad, we got about 2 minutes here until the bell. I'm glad you're here and good morning. You know that? Great morning. I hope you're having a wonderful morning, but we got a little bit of time. I do kind of need to go to the bathroom, but I will give you my plays ahead of time. We only have a minute. I don't think I go to the bathroom. So I'm going to be watching NBO, INSM. Again, INSM, they got a really big trial. They brought down a lot of different names. Watch iRobot, some of the small caps. Again, any of the squeeze and stuff we've talked about yesterday. If you do watch that broadening out, keep your eye out for some of those small caps, but again, don't fall in love, don't go too big. Circle, we got some free plays, but again, that has been a lot of attention lately. TSM had a update there on sales, and that was really good. And then watch Meta on the supercomputer AGI news. Silver, because we love it and it is breaking out. And then Uber tied into some of the White House headlines from yesterday and just base Dow transports in general. And then CARM, it's just a random biotech that I've noticed up 200. I have old free shares. So other than that, we'll see where it takes us. I'm going to try not to force anything, but you know, yesterday we kind of stumbled across a lot of different plays. So we'll see where it's all at, Chad. You have about 30 seconds if you would like to post your plays. Other than that, that is it. Yeah, Disney Iger, he's making a bunch of comments right now. And then Morgan Stanley got a price raise, and then Wells Fargo, something about consumer portfolios. And then you have less than 20 seconds. So let's go, baby. Please read the rules and follow along. Otherwise, after the bell, no plays, just questions and any information. And I wish you the best of luck, and thank you to the veterans once again. So call it all. Tesla. Yeah, dude, I want the Teslas, but I feel like we missed it. Round one, fight. So yeah, we were literally watching Tesla yesterday as Trump made those comments. So we'll see. I don't know if the options have opened up. I want to see if those NVOs hit. Is the NVO chain even open? No. Tell me when NVO, because we have some older ones like we talked about. Invitest is crazy. Again, Bitcoin is running up. World Bank cuts global growth forecast in 25 by 0.4, citing trade tensions. That's not bad. Merck is on the high. Again, INSM, that's the one. Biotech, they're up 24. They brought everybody down. Hams. Yeah, Nibis is probably reacting to, again, CoreWeave got a big downgrade. So we'll see how that plays out. Again, NVO has not opened up yet. AT&T, again, you're getting World Bank headlines now. Who was it? Yeah, RDW. They got a NASA thing, but it didn't even sound that good. Qubit, I don't know. Again, small caps are going to be a key industry right now. You actually have everything up. Russell is actually leading right now to gap up. You're up by 0.5 on the Russell. Everything else is within like 0.1% below a quarter. The Dow is down right now. There's Qubits. Where's Ouster? That was the one from yesterday. They didn't move. And then let's see. Tesla is up, bro. So again, I like the play idea. I think we literally saw the de-escalation in real time yesterday. But now it's like, yeah, it's up another 2%. World Bank downgrades growth forecast for nearly 70% of economies. Yeah, Pfizer, again, you do have Goldman Healthcare Conference. Keep an eye out for XLV. Again, that's why we're getting some of these biotech moves. So just watch out for that. Sakal. Yeah, Circle's down, though. Again, we have free plays, but those got murked. ACHR, bro. Those things are still all running. So again, all the eVTOLs, remember you had the executive order. There's J&J on the high. Apple, that is not bad. All right, NVO is open. Plays are up about 50 to 100%. Nice. My old ones, though, I got old ones for June a little further out. Those won't go up. All right, well, let's get some fucking free NVOs and call it a day. All right, I made NVO free. So again, I literally, if you go see the stream alerts, we had the activist news yesterday. So isn't it funny how the market's reacting to it now? Oh, wow. A lot of things moving. I can't even keep up with it. High Ticker has a bunch of names. Guild, Qubits, SBet. Oh, bro, there is a lot. Holy shit. I can't even keep up with it. Usually I can. Yeah, INSM, Sale. It is a host of different things all kind of running. Let's make this wider. Yeah, Tem, I made those free, so we still have some. Again, hopefully you did something with the NVO. They're already coming down. Again, NVO always fades. If you held those leaves, you're killing it. Airbnb now, again, oh, that 0.5%, that caught my eye. You got STX, remember Chips. That was one of the big leaders yesterday. And then J&J keeps going. We saw this one yesterday as well. Oh, dude, J&J might say something at the fucking healthcare conference. Now that I think about it. Baba dropping. Watch out for that. Because if China names start to move, people are probably going to assume that's from, the talks that are going on right now in London. So keep that in mind. Which one was it? Eli Lilly now, NVO. Oh, I want to see Pepsi. Our one value play that will not go up. So yeah. Let's see. CNI, UPS over 100. Wow. I forgot about that. The Bibsy. Oh, did it not film me? What little scammers. Okay, I'm gonna punt on that. Good morning. Yeah, Whirlpool did very good yesterday. Again, let's see if the SPY could actually move. Because again, that's what yesterday tripped me out, man. Because yesterday, the morning was very, very pinned. But then you guys remember, we advanced, hit a new high. But then that last hour, bro, you literally went right back up to open. It's kind of ridiculous. Yeah, I don't like any of this. I'm gonna wait. So yeah, we've only taken profits to start. I put out a couple of bids, but all these premiums are up 30-40%. Dist halted for volatility. Targets on the high again. AT&T, they came out with guidance this morning, and they are doing good. Oh, Nibis, I forgot we had some of those free options. They went down. Yeah, and then the circles dropped. Disney. Yeah, the synchronies dropped even too. I'm glad we made those free. Boeings are still up, so just be on the lookout if you end up getting a Boeing headline. SMR, Walmart pop. We got some Walmarts too. Again, Walmart, there's a lot going on. Walmart's even getting tied into the LA shit. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. But be on the lookout. Other NVOs didn't climb up. Yeah, SLV, the other Boeings are up 200%. And then your boy, that Magan thing, we're going to get that conference. There's Palantir now, up by 0.6. Again, SPY has not moved yet. We opened up with Russell, small caps leading, and then everything is, again, SPY down. SPY and NASDAQ are just barely under a quarter. Palantir there moving. Yeah, the Walmarts are climbing. So see where that takes us. Remember RTX yesterday and then the defense names? They also got a bid. And then somebody keep an eye on China names. I feel like they haven't done much, but again, once they start moving, you know, the last couple of days, we've been watching China start with the bid. So just eyes up on that. And there's Amazon now. They're going green. I don't know the Mag 7 effect. Google is up by 0.3. I think Apple is green. Apple's up only a quarter. Meta is up by 0.8. So literally all of them are looking pretty good. Netflix is red. Again, Tesla, if that goes red, that'll weigh on it. IONQ just rocketed up here. 40, that's $1 pop. Whoa, that's about 2% on one candle. You got Robinhood and then UNFI. I think there was a headline as well. We'll have more tariff clarity by September. So again, Robinhood and then IONQ. That IONQ pump is pretty big. Let's see what they're dealing with. I'm throwing IONQ in the volume thing. Let's see if we could spot anything. Is this unusual or not? Oh, it is. So yeah, IONQ is literally trading all of its volume yesterday, right now. But then again, yesterday it had a high prediction of volume and then it never followed through. And then SMR, one of you guys called that one earlier. Yeah, NVO, bro, there's still cheap options. I don't know what to tell you. So I think you're late on that one, but if you watch it do like a news pop, just keep in mind that those NVO doesn't really move. So again, I already hit one, but I think it's fascinating. Qubit looks big. IONQ is above average. Again, it was just like this yesterday on my volume thing. It had a high prediction, but then it didn't follow through. So just watch out. I like Boeing, but Boeing premiums are literally like jacked. Short term, not as much, but July near the money or like slightly out of the money is up to 300%. So just be careful on that. The Boeings from yesterday that we flipped on the short term, they're up 30. So Boeing's high. They still have a lot. Silver, I think I just saw silver. Yeah, I think I did. That's coming up again. The premiums are down a little bit though. Again, Qubits, IONQ, all of these quantums, they're starting to move right now. You do got ECB Vujicic headlines also coming in. There's Google. Again, I think all of Mag 7 is green. All right, BNB. On the way to the dentist, the wife. That's so cool. Bro, your dentist is your wife. That must be such like a sigh of relief. Did I tell you guys that when last time I went to the dentist, homeboy was trying to just like rip apart my fucking teeth? He was like, you're going to need to take out all of your teeth. I'm like, no, I don't. And then I left. I said, I need to call my mom. I'm a grown man. And I said, I need to call my mom. And I ran out of there. I literally just ran off, bro. I was like, oh, that's crazy. Putin extends oil sale ban for buyers observing the price cap. Again, Airbnb kind of launching. MDT, more medical devices. CPI, silver is a CPI safe play. Oh, I haven't looked at it like that. I'm only viewing it right now in context of rate cuts, inflation, and AI, but I've not really looked at it as playing data. You know, maybe if the dollar does make a sizable move off of that, then maybe, but other than that, it's not really in my wheelhouse. Yeah, is Red Cat, is that the one, or RDW? Yeah, Redwire, there's one of them got to deal with NASA. Disney on the high. RCAT is waking up, though. Disney. Bro, Disney is phenomenal. I don't know if you guys realize it. From the bottom, Disney kind of looked like Papa John's. So, yeah, but, like, that thing just went 80 to 116. But now Disney, you know, ever since 2024 to 2022, it's only been above this spot a couple of times. So, yeah, this is kind of crazy. That's like subtly going. There's IDYA. Biosciences literally up 5%. I just saw another one too. See if financials start to go. Yeah, financials are trying to move. Now you got UAL on the high. Airlines starting to move. The SPY's hitting another high. The funniest part about this, we're barely moving, you guys. This is only 0.25%. The Russell is up by 0.5. But yeah, this could all get unwound in 2 seconds. So you're not really moving, man. So just be on head on a swivel. Again, you're not going to really get like data or anything. Watch the levels maybe. And then we'll see where those lead us. UAL, again, we got a free play from earlier. 60-16. Let's see equal weight. Ooh, equal weight. Equal weight's doing good. It's kind of matched up with everything. And Bitcoin's up on the day. $65, $67 on oil. All right, not bad. OVV. Again, Delta and airlines are going up right now. Or they're all getting some volume. The NVOs are still holding. Again, Warby Parker going crazy. Lululemon. Oh, I forgot they had those earnings. All right, SPY with your first little red of the day. Share where that takes us, huh? Yeah, Circle did that. All of the like hype plays. Circle, Nibis, Core Weave. Whoa, that candle's a lot bigger. You just knocked out half a point, but then again, you haven't moved all day. So that is going to look like the biggest candle of the day. But yeah, you just went 690 to 644. All right, that's still going lower, dropping a little bit more. Yeah, it looks big because you don't have like big range on the day so far. Bird. Yo, what the fuck is this? All birds? Oh, you guys have told me about this. Isn't that, I've seen it at the mall. Isn't it glasses? Or am I tripping? They don't have options? Yeah, well, bird. I swear we've seen this. All birds. Or is it shoes? I don't fucking know. And then Walmart, again, July premiums on Walmart have already climbed. There's one more. Car on the high. Elf. The shoes? Okay, SPY's coming down. Again, NASDAQ. Dow's the only one flip red, but NASDAQ and SPY, they might go red there. Elf is on the high. Lemonade, that was from the other day, too. So, and I'll get you guys a checkup here in a couple minutes. It's only been 15. FTK, Micron, Google. Whoa, Google actually kind of running. Am I tripping? Yo, Google. What do we have there? Yeah, there's a lot of options on Google. The premium's already jacked up 20 to 30% though. That's big though. Do they film? Yeah, watch Google. That's big. That's too big. If that volume is real, it's not. You're just moving. OpenAI taps Google for more compute. Boom. All right, I already got a play on there. Yeah, it's confirmed. Reuters, OpenAI, and Google. All right. All right, let's just see if it has follow through. I sold Google's yesterday. That was big volume. It's looking good. I don't know where it's at though. Yeah, honestly, that could work. So yeah, I got a little bit of time, but there was a lot of calls and they're up like 30%. They're climbing up slightly. That's just coming out now. I don't know if that's circulated yet. So either way, we'll see. That could help the SPY. TSM and then Goldman. Yo, TSM starting to pop now, a little bit more aggressive. See if you hear anything else. The Wobs. Good. I got you, baby. I got you. Let's see. Again, the contracts on Google, it hasn't had follow through yet. If you remember that other one we hit, that one was like, you got a good move and follow. That's how it worked. But if this fades, those aren't going to go. So again, you can play them somewhat cheaper if you notice Google is a slow mover. These contracts aren't like overwhelmingly expensive. But again, it's not that crazy of a mover. So see SMR and then watch for the follow through on that. SPY's just at VWAP. We've gone nowhere. GELS. What's that? And then Microsoft selling off. And then Gel, whatever that is. Nibis on the low. But yeah, why is Microsoft losing on that? Because isn't Microsoft OpenAI? That's weird. Look, they're inversing. So see how that ends up playing out. I think that's odd. NVO. Is it less Azure revenue? Maybe. Yeah, Snowflake move. I like that. That could be it. But TSN moving as well. TSM is also, they had the 40% update here. Okay, the Googles are breaking out now. They're about 40%. And now they're starting to climb a little harder. Yeah, I think Microsoft could be downside on that, you guys. Keep that in mind. And then you got Micron. Kohl's is ripping. Shout out value. UA. Kohl's had some volume. It's up 4%, but it's not like a volume trigger. So watch out for that, though. Kohl's, and then what did we just say? Microsoft. Again, Microsoft to the downside, possibly. Google's moving now. Okay, SPAR's going up. Yeah, what was that headline? El Coyote just posted on Micron. So yeah, they're going. Remember, chips yesterday was big. So if that keeps having that follow through, that will be nice. Okay, there's Google. We got that early. I hope it has good follow through though. And NVO, Colm, RDNT. I'm seeing NVO, that's why. Yeah, NVO's starting to do the breakout. The contract, same price as the morning. Literally, same price I made them free at. The other ones further out the money are lagging. Where's the next level on Google? So this is a weekly breakout, 2-week breakout. Oh shit, yeah, so like 181 to like 182, and then if it can break through that, then that'll be a really good day. But otherwise, watch around there. That'll be like the first resistance, and you're still a couple. That's still another 1.5%. Yeah, all the chips are running. Warbs. Okay, what was the other one? Bird? All birds? Yeah, that one came down. Micron's still running. Google coming back to the first news pop. Again, NVO on the high. Eli Lilly chilling too. Medtronic, they've been on fire every day, it feels like. They're chilling. Illumina starting to wake up. We've seen this one do this a lot. So I don't know if it's news or not. IWM, it says up by 0.47. If you remember, yesterday's rally was weird when we were on the watch list. It was just off of like the EU stuff. So, but you still held like a decent one. We gapped up. You were close to hitting a new high. Technically, you hit one on the futures. Bro, Micron still taking off. The Google news was OpenAI is tapping them for more compute. And then they even brought Microsoft down a little bit. Disney, so get ready. Disney 118. It's at 116.85. But you're near the level. SPY near the highest it's been, but we haven't moved. Nibis below 50. I'm mad I didn't sell the other free ones, but I'm glad we took the 1,000%. That was great. Oh, Disney. Hi. So I don't know if that volume's real, but it's breaking out. And then is that Baba? Yeah. Like I told you, get ready for China. So see if those start moving. That's the first time today. NASDAQ President Tal Cohen says broke almost every record in terms of message traffic and volumes because of Liberation Day. There's a NASDAQ conference going on right now. VKTX. Google News hitting Bloomberg now. That's why it's getting round 2. Let's see. Do I? Yeah, I already have. Ah! Don't look. They're talking about Boeing, too. Okay, SPY. See if we actually break out from here. Boeing's still up, and the bonds, and Goldman. I've seen that a few times. There's Goldman Health Conference, but keep seeing the bank go up. Citi now, that's starting to move. Look at Citi. They're waking up. That's 40 cents. That's not that bad for them. So see if that goes CBRL. That's not Circle. And then there's this SPY. I just saw the SPY on the high ticker. And then Google premiums are climbing. So even though the stock is barely moving and it looks like not much, the premiums are higher than the first alert. Okay, yeah, oil's rocketing up right now too. Eyes on that. You might get a global headline or something if that keeps going. Yeah, Canada. But yeah, oil's starting to get vertical. Oracle dump in. NVO, Lily. Yeah, again, NVO above this level is big, you guys. 78, that's what we talked about. You like get into this, it's like 78 to 82, and then you start looking at, like, again, it's gonna knock on the 90s. AMD, I just saw someone else too. AMD and Target, that was the other one. But yeah, they're moving up. SPY just hit a high of the day, but remember, we did that yesterday, and that only lasted for a little bit. It was actually the new high, kind of set in kind of some of the drops, but 60-20, not bad. Equal weight is still around the SPY, 0.17 versus 0.21. Russell's good. Dow Jones is negative. I'll get you guys a checkup in about 7 minutes. CVS, Target, AMD, all of these are on the high right now. Again, high ticker is still very active. I haven't looked at staples yet. I would love a staple play. Sam Altman, we dropped the price of 03. Chat GPT is down for some users. KLTO, up 100%. Biotech, one of these small cap runners. And then, yo, Carm, that one's going nuts now. That was the one I told you. It was a cancer drug. I have old free shares from a while ago. But yeah, there's no headlines on it. This makes no sense. But they halted and went nuts. Smuckers, they had bad earnings, but I don't know if they're guttered. I know they already were underperforming. Yeah. Honestly, if that ends up hitting a new, like, 20-year low, maybe. And then SPY kind of giving up. President Putin extends oil sales ban, but you are going down. Gilead says FDA placed clinical hold on trials. Whoa. How come this isn't reacting? Someone double check that. Is that new? I'm going to verify, but they're saying FDA hold on clinical trials on treatment of HIV for Gilead. That's their biggest drug. It's not moving, though. And then bonds on the high. SPY just came back to VWAP. Google is there. Target is above 100. Yeah, 618. Oh, that was 30 minutes ago. Yeah, it's old. Yeah. Good. I was going to say, if that's coming out in real time, we should have hit that, but no, it's old. So stock's down. I'm just surprised it's not down more. KRE, that's going up. Cigna now, watch out for UNH. And then Verizon, again, AT&T had a good guide today this morning, so see if they go. Marvel selling off for chips. I have not looked at NVIDIA. Again, Google premiums are up, but Google is coming down now. And NVIDIA hasn't moved. CIB, KWM, the Bitcoin one. We made those shares free yesterday. Again, NVO premiums up. SPY still at VWAP. God bless America. Amgen, they're at the conference. Yeah, watch out. That looks kind of good. They won't give me these plays. BKD, all right, SPY coming down a little, and then bonds are doing the hit a high and get a red. Microsoft is red. Again, I think Microsoft dropped on the Google headline. My platform's lagging. Tesla, Magen. Yeah, the Magen premiums, I think, are 100. Tesla is waking up. Good call on that. Eyes, and then ZD and then ON are ripping. High ticker is very active, dude. For us going down right now. Yeah, whatever ZD is, 1 point on the high. Banks are going. Netflix planning to invest $1 billion in Spain between 2025 and 2028. But yeah, Tesla's starting to wake up right there. So see, I even saw Boeing as well. Netflix going down. SPY is just a hold in. And then so is Google. Yeah, Tesla, there you go. New high, 316, up 2.5. Remember, Tesla has been a leader on the SPY. And then Alibaba, like I told you, if China starts to move, it's very gentle right now. They were down more, but still red by 0.5%. See if those go. DV on the high. Double verify. Whoa. 10-cent pop. It's about 0.8. MCHP, they're at the conference or at a conference. NVO hitting a high. MCHP, again, it's being talked about somewhere at a conference. They're moving. Yeah, NV. And then KRE, bro. KRE's like printing. Again, NVO 3.8. We'll see if Baba goes crazy. MCHP, that is at an event. The Gilead stuff has not reacted. No. Google's coming down now, the premiums. Yeah, so weird. This premium, they were green. This one, now they're still green, but it's coming down. And then NVO, hi. Trump-China news, we don't know. Just like yesterday, it was kind of like buy Euro close. We heard what happened, but we haven't gotten like a full readout. It is day 2, but we haven't really heard anything. And SPY still at VWAP. ARM going up now. Hi, we haven't seen you in a while. MTSR and NVO. Chewy on the low. HRB on the low. Yeah, dude, NVO. Again, the premiums are they climbed. I thought they were going to lag a little bit. Yeah, they're starting to go gently. That work. All right, SPY still at VWAP. High ticker has activity. Again, even I keep seeing Verizon and some of the names tied to stuff. AT&T. Okay, now it's going up, bro. Now the high tickers just went from moving crazy. Low ticker had a burst, and then now high tickers are taking it all over. Nike, again, a couple of you just called out Nike. So say, why can't I type? ASML, UMAC on the low, and gold on the low. Damn it. No way. So what does that mean? Yeah, gold's starting to flip and silver. So again, if China or dollar starts moving, just be on the lookout for a front run. But yeah, that's interesting. And then everything's running. Look at the high ticker though. It's gassing. You do still have a little bit of pressure. A couple medical devices, Anthem Health. I'm seeing those on the low. But broadly, we're starting to run up here. And now, let me get you a checkup. Let's see where we're at, boys. Going right back up to the high. You're only up by 0.1. Again, the Russell is hitting a new high. That's the only thing advancing right now. But you have Dow Jones, 17 names in the green, 13 in the red. NASDAQ 100, 62 in the red, 39 in the green, 62 in the green, 39 in the red. And then SPY, 299 green, 201 in the red. So it's still, everything is mostly green today on every single index. So yeah, there's still some red. You have a little bit of resistance, but it's not like that could either flip or those could either start support. NVO. Ah! All right, honestly, let me find a pair of laggers on NVO, bro. We got to do it. The short terms don't have it on. That's the thing. If you get the ones with time, they hit. No, I hit the other ones though. bum. These guys are crazy. PSX, Toll, Google. I know, yeah, Google's finally hitting. Again, the premiums are up a lot. It's like it's under 100. It just all depends when you got into it, but even from the alerts and everything, or when we got the first headline, they're all climbing. Look at bonds, though. If that goes down, again, market's coming down with it. They've been flowing, but see if we could get the inverse. I'm looking for laggers right now. That's it. I already see a move. Like I told you, anytime I see these laggers, I need to start taking them because they're just too easy. Thank you for Google. Welcome. Whoa. Always showing love, bro. Thank you. You have no idea. You're the man. You're the man, bro. This guy, he hitting them and then he just paying the plug, bro. She ain't breaking the rules. He just man, stop it. All right, I found a lagger on NVO. I did it. You got to get time, though. I'm telling you right now. It's going to be all about time. We've hit NVO a couple of times. It's starting to do this, so I did. I did a decent one. Again, NVO's paid me a couple times already, so I did go a little bit bigger on that one. And then shout out to long term. And then it's right at the high, so you got to be careful. Bro, the Google premiums are not going up as much here as they were kind of here, but yeah, I have time on the Googles too. Let's see, SPY going up, high ticker, there's a couple of names now, and then IWM, Russell is leading. Again, there's NVO. So yeah, I went for the laggers on there. Let's see if they take off, but there's a lot of plays on NVO that are moving. So again, the ones we have from yesterday, now they're doing 150. Oh, that might go in the money, that's why. And we also have a little bit of time on that. So yeah, we'll see. No, I have not. The latest long-term purchase was pizza at $30. So that was my latest one. We bought pizza at about 30 bucks, right around here, or $31. And then I bought NVO at around $58. All of them are on Instagram and my Twitter and everywhere you get your cult content. Thank you. CRISPR, wow. I don't know what IWM could do. You just got to be careful, right? Because everybody loves when IWM rips, it rips. But then everybody piles into it, and then it fades, and then Mag 7 takes over, no? So that's it. Just be careful with that, and I think you'll be fine. I wouldn't put yourself in a box when it comes to that. Oh, I was just about to buy it. Dude, they lagged it again. I was going to buy another set. And then they just jacked up the ask. Now the ask is the bid. That's what I was looking for. EU seeks to remove UAE from money laundering blacklist. And then see, Google wants to go up when the market goes down, bro. I'm telling you, it's kind of odd. So let's see. JANAX is on the high. A lot of things are running. NVO is like squeezing now. That's what I'm saying. Time is of the essence. And then the other plays have moved up too. Well, yeah, we'll ride those through. And then see if Google, again, Google above 180. That's kind of, like we said, 180 to like 182. I think that's the next level, right? Yeah. 181 to like 182 and then 184. Gold, I saw that earlier. Gold was going down on all of this. So I think is fascinating. Alrighty. Yeah, the contracts are still tweaking. HRMY bonds going down. So again, watch out for that. Because again, if bonds, like we said, the last couple of days, bonds down have been bullish. Even today, I can't really get the read, so eventually we'll find out. But let's see where it takes us. News on NVO was yesterday. We had the news yesterday. It was an activist. And then again, I was just telling you, bro, like day after day, like people are starting, Wall Street is turning bullish on NVO again. Because remember, this was a very bullish stock. That's why it's odd that they rejected it so much because, again, their EPS doubled, the stock went down. So, yeah, but I just think it was that news. It could still fade. It's already moved up 30, 40%. So just be careful. But as of yesterday, that was the headline. U.S. has doubts about viability of Palestinian state. Got something on European Commission as well. Well, if TLT is snitching, it's bullish. But again, today you were up a little bit and bonds were up. And then if you took the bond gap up, that would say it's bearish. So it's hard to tell. That's what I'm saying. I can't get a read on it yet, but we'll give it some time and see. Where's Meta? All right, SPY's still going. There's a couple names coming down, but that high ticker is going in bursts, bro. And then the bonds. Yeah, a little. And again, this is a big level. And if you get above 79 to 80 and then like 82 or 89, it gets nuts. SPY getting bigger. U.S. Hamas sanctions. I think there's more. Again, that bond SPY dynamic, I think a lot is in store. So get ready for that. You got YPF Argentina moving up too. Yeah, IWM is up a ton. Dow finally went green. That candle's getting big. Again, Dow has been red all day. But yeah, Russell and the small caps and that ideology has been, we talked about it last night. I mean, it's kind of in full effect. I know the thing with NVO, though, you guys don't remember? We got the headline yesterday. I literally have a stream alert from yesterday that says NVO activist investor. And then they just pumped that news this morning and then it gapped up. So Google trying to go, AMD, again, Wells Fargo and NVIDIA. If chips could go, Wells Fargo flipped. And then WDC, I think, is going up on the high. But yeah, watch if you could get these moves now. Some of them, like NVIDIA, are finally starting to do it. So yeah, NVIDIA is about to break out here on the day. It's only up a quarter. And here we are. The Googles are looking nice still. Nibis catching the bid. I don't know, was that you who said it earlier? Somebody did. So yeah, I think it might be. SPY, again, Nike too, and then Hood. Is that bonds? APLD. Yeah, Nibis still down. Check CoreWeave too. Yeah, they're both moving. Oh, what was it? APLD. That one's starting to wake up again. Again, SPY near the high, but hasn't broken out yet. SMTC. I did look at Regen, and Regen is at a conference right now. So eyes out for that. Nike, Merck. Again, Merck had something too. SPY is looking good. What, that bond volume's hella odd, but yeah, it hasn't moved yet. It's actually given up just the gains from the morning. Okay, Google, new high. Pakistan proposes carbon tax for petrol, diesel, and fuel. Let's see if this SPY could get here. Is that Honda or Howmet Aerospace? HWM kind of dumping. Google now 180. Hasn't hit, again, 181 to 182. That is pretty much what we are looking for. IWM, huge candle. EOG, a couple of energy ones. Yeah, IWM is just advancing. So again, like we're saying, you know, people have their eyes out on this. I think this takes you back to the breakout zone. Now you got to get here from like the election. So there's still a little bit more to go. But even the last 2 days, that has kind of been the advancer. BX on the high. Again, more volume on Google. SPY hitting a new level. Couple names moving down. Again, NVO kind of stopped off of that. Congressman Rob Brennishin has bought a Hume, MOH, NVIDIA, and TEM. TTD. PRMB. TLS. Okay, Google. I'm still holding them. They have time. VFC. CNBC is now covering the Google? No way.
Which we know.
Yeah, they are.
Well, it's just so interesting to see competitors, partner, frenemies, right? Because they compete with OpenAI on DeepMind, and they compete on search as people are increasingly turning to search on ChatGPT, and then Google, Alphabet, and Microsoft compete, obviously. So it's just interesting to see all these relationships form and these partnerships in the race.
I mean, what it also tells you, of course, is the enormous need for compute at OpenAI. When you think about the various applications they introduce and just what that requires in terms of compute. Clearly, Sam Altman's going anywhere he possibly can to find it, including to, as you point out, a competitor in terms of the actual products that they have in the marketplace.
Yeah,
but
and one that we often talk about
at Google with the cloud. So.
We often talk about as an existential threat to its search business.
Yes, we do.
What's happening
there?
Yeah,
you think that they might not want to actually allow them, you know, to do it.
I guess in the race for compute, Google Cloud.
It's an interesting decision on their part.
Both companies decline in comment there. Here's our roadmap for the rest of the hour. Did Apple drop the ball on AI? The lack of news from its developer conference left a number of analysts wanting more, but some still found reasons to be bullish. We're going to talk to
I'm muted? Oh, my bad. Yeah, I was saying Google's a slow mover. And then, I said something else. And then you got a headline, U.S. no longer wholeheartedly endorses an independent state for Palestinians. All right, SPY breaking out. Again, Mag 7 is playing a interesting role here today. Again, most of the names are up. There's Nibis now. That's starting to go. I don't know if it's gone green yet, but they were red. Again, CoreWeave's moving with it. Now you got GM. Nibis keeps printing. 60.19. You were 2 points off of the cash open high. So remember, you hit a high on futures, but the cash open, the high was yesterday. Okay, Netflix on the low too. Those investment plans and then bonds. So we are higher with bonds lower, but I think there's still more to this story. Okay, then the NVOs, now they just widen the spreads. That's how it moves. So literally, those names didn't go down. The options wouldn't go up when it was climbing. They go up when it goes down. You're going to get a lot more of that. Intel on the high now. Who was it? Micron still going. SPY there. Google. Again, that 180 is going to be a level. Again, Micron now starting to break. You guys called that one out in the morning. Defense Secretary says deployment of National Guards and Marine is aimed at protecting ICE agents. Okay, is that a new high? 60.21. You have now hit a new intraday cash high. So again, yesterday, the day before, Friday, Monday, you were hitting all these levels. Once again, here on Tuesday, the rally continues, or at least you have advanced and hit another level. Okay, Intel's moving up. Again, Micron, Google coming down, and then you got AMD. KWM hit 6. Yeah, NVIDIA is finally moving out too. When pump it up? You guys just are telling me you don't really listen. So I would encourage you to watch the watch list, lock in. You know, it's the best I could do for you guys. But you know, I don't know where you've been in the last month or two, but I love you, and I'd encourage you to be involved and be in there. You know, because you are behind, brother. You're very behind. I hope you have a long term. And be like, Josh, there's this new invention called Bluetooth. What? Sir, you're behind, sir. Very behind. KWM, we got some free ones. Okay, NVIDIA, more volume here. I don't know if that's real or not. I think it might be. Okay, SPY near the high. Google just came back down. Fat. You guys remember that one? So that one's starting to climb. It's around the same price, sadly. SJM now. Again, this one, I don't know. I think if it breaks like the 10-year low, I got to look into them, but it is at almost a 10-year low. That's what I was saying. If it breaks below here, this could be a potential candidate. But it is a food play, and they kind of hold their own route. I don't know where their dividends at. Again, I don't know the fundamentals on this one. I just know the brand. Well, the other NVOs are still up over 100. Hegseth getting grilled by Congress. Herbalife on the high. Where's Tessie? Tesla's still doing good. Again, that held up. So is Google. And then just see if we could get a big tech lagger leader. That'll probably drive the next move until we get a headline. We haven't heard anything on trade yet. So again, they're still in that meeting and we are waiting to hear. HNST, Google's kind of struggling there, but again, it's chilled. Nibis, once again, it's still red, but I don't know where CoreWeave is at. And now, yep, both of them, CoreWeave, Nibis, and NVIDIA. And the bonds are trying to get a damn bid. Let's see, then you got Medtronic again, that's been all week. And then PayPal, that's a little bit fresh. And then KWM, that's the Bitcoin treasury one we made the free shares on. And then NVO, another candle, but off of the high. I haven't checked travel. All right. Pizza. Actually, let's see the long term. Wow, Habibi, long term still good, man. He enjoy so much. Wow. Crocs. I'm getting fat. This little guy. KWM, jeez. Yeah, that one's both of them. All of these old small caps from the other day. Again, we flipped both of these. So I still have the fat ones. That one's a lot smaller. I haven't made that one free. But KWM, I made free already. Again, these are small ones from the other day. Again, a lot of like the movers today, these are headlines or news we knew either yesterday or last week, from NVO down to these. So yeah, we'll see. TXN on the high now. And again, Nike, I feel like that's been the silent runner who hasn't gotten the credit today. But yeah, they're killing it. TXN, that one's still climbing gently. And SPY good. Microsoft, I don't know if they're still down on the Google. They're just staying pinned. RGA? The hell is this? And then Marriott now, Hilton, now travel. So hold on, this again a little bit bigger. Oh, FAT's gonna be at the conference tomorrow? Oh, no way. And they have exclusivity. I'm gonna make it free once I go green on it. But yeah, I need a little bit more. I need a decent amount more. PayPal going up again. That SPY candle is getting big here at the high. XYF, X Financial is an ADR. Netflix has been down all day. And then Microsoft went down with the Google stuff, but it hasn't continued down. So yeah, 60-20, you're still right there at the high. That candle got a little bigger. And then again, bonds sold off. There is your high. Target breaking out. SPY had hit another fucking high. This is amazing. My goodness. My goodness. TDW, that one sounds familiar. LT is printing. Yes, indeed. I mean, it's not even like crazy gains. It's just every day. Like, you guys know what it's like, you know, when it stacks up every day like this, before you know it, yeah, it's just bleh. So again, know the goal. Get a property, you guys. That's why you have a long time. And shout out all the new guys who have gotten a long term, man. Y'all were very, very inspiring. And I look forward to see what your future brings, because you took good choices and made good decisions. All right, you're ripping a little more. Maggins even up, bro. Those Maggins are up almost 200%. UPS. Dude, it seems like a lot of names. We were just talking about this yesterday, where I was like, dude, some of these long-term names, the value might not be there. But again, people were feeling the FOMO. We talked about it yesterday, but a lot of things kind of got a bid here. And it's just compounding after the last few days. Because again, it's one day up, another day up, another day up. And then before you know it, it's slowly kind of just changing it. LEG, USO now, oil. You had headlines there with Russia. ARAI. I put that one up there. I don't know what it is. Again, SPY bonds lower. Circle flushing. I haven't looked at any of these. Shout out the Lauter. Thoughts on Pepsi leaps versus buying the stock outright? Well, based on your name and you seem educated, I think my banning of you will give you my answer. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with your future. You need to own equity. Options are not equity. Options are not ownership. To take everything I share with you and then to pervert it and devalue it and turn it into hold a fucking option and pay 20-30% down, that's ridiculous. So you know the answer. All of you know. And I hope that $5 lesson, I'm not mad at you. I hope it makes you understand why I'm reacting like that, so that you forever will value and appreciate ownership. Amen. 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 RRX on the high. Oh no, I thought that was RXRX. That is a ban? Yes, that is a ban. 100%. I've been doing that a lot this year. Because again, last year I was banning people for buying shit that we were up on. And guess what? It saved them a lot of money. So I don't want you guys to confuse the easy thing. Again, our strategy, why the fuck are we up 25% on the year, dude? What are you telling me right now? How did that happen? That doesn't happen by accident, right? It's because we planned and prepared. So, and I think all of you had the access to that. You have the access to good opportunities here, good plays, and good things for your future. But if it gets too confusing, or you let it get, bend the rules. Oh yeah, Tesla Senate budget bill should ease start date requirements for clean energy tax credits. So Senator Curtis, he's pretty much talking about clapping Tesla. Long story short, that's coming out now in real time. So yeah, they're down $2. Almost stream alert the headline. So clean energy requirements for tax credits. Senator Curtis. That's why Tesla's down right now. Okay, spy holding. But yeah, man, for real. Like, that's what I'm saying is like, I'm no more being cute. I don't want you guys to confuse each other, and I don't want it to be confusing. And sadly, I've made it very straightforward this year, and people still missed it. There's no videos on the main channel. I only post on the long term pretty much. I'm not telling you all these trades, only the long term. I've only made 2 decisions this whole entire year, and it was literally at the bottom, and people still missed it. You see what I'm saying? This is the simplest strategy that will make a lot of you good money. The easiest you will ever find. It's just slow. But again, even in the process, people have still missed it somehow. So that's why we are turning up the heat, you guys. Follow the rules. You only need to be told once. You all know the answers. Stop bending and trying to find ways around the rules. And I'm telling you, it'll benefit you. If not, if you want to add confusion and you don't want to follow what for 5 years we have made very clear, even are focusing on it, you're on your own, bro. And I don't mean that negatively. It's just like, come on. But I'm not going to allow that in here. So everybody, get a long term, keep it simple. You will get a house and you will get rich. Anything else, I can't. I don't know. That's up to you, bro. So amen. Sprout selling off, and then Target running. Micron still killing it. My goodness. It is, man. And you all know the answer. Again, I got an email this morning. I didn't respond to it. I'm not going to respond to it. If you're here now, great. But you know why? I was just going to respond. You know the answer. That's it. Someone sent me an email. They're like, Josh, I'm doing good in trading, but then I'm losing a lot of my money in trading after winning a lot. And then I started the long term, and I listened to you for 5 years, and I ignored it. And then he said, I started the long term, and then I panicked on Donald Trump, and I bought at the high, and then I sold at the low, and now I'm losing my trading gains. And then he's like, what do I do? I don't know. What do I do? He said, do I quit? Do I take a break? Do I focus on long term? This is what I was telling you guys day after day, week after week. Once you stop following the steps, it's harder for me to help you. It really is. I can't, if you ignore the first couple steps, I can't get you out of it. But even then, you know the answer. You know what to fucking do. Stop gambling, get a long term. That's it. You know the answer. You know the long term. You all know the skills. You know everything. You know what to do. You know what I'm looking for. You know how to execute it. You know all of this stuff. You are letting these weird conversations with yourself justify poor decisions. You get what I'm saying? That's it. You know the truth, bro. You know the truth. You know the answer. What's good for you? What's going to make you rich? You know it. All you got to do is turn off the voice that's allowing these dumbass conversations to convince yourself to make a bad decision when you already know how to position yourself. So I encourage you all, and I say this not negatively. I say this as I believe in you. I say this that a lot of you are smarter than you think. A lot of you know the answers. Trust me, you really do. And you should start believing yourself and start following your intuition, because I think a lot of you have it and you know it and you know these things. It is these weird conversation, weird bending of rules. It's the weird emotions that is getting you off of the path. All right? So that's what I'm saying. And I know you may not like the answer sometimes, but I strongly encourage you to to learn to accept and just know and listen to yourself and listen to what is objectively good and will put you forward versus not. Amen. Anyone else building the long term with the short term? Smiley face. Do you think you're cute? You're banned. Again, $200 a month in a couple of years, you'll have 30 grand. What are we saying? You don't need to do anything. You literally need to work at McDonald's. And if you could do that for 4 years, I'll get you a crib. That's insanity. And that was in an environment with the most inflation you've ever witnessed in 50 years. So yeah, you don't need to do anything cute. All you got to do is just save, follow along, and execute. That's it, baby. Oh, it's so beautiful. Oh, is NVO climbing again? Push-up time. Oh, it's 7:30, but I would love to stand up. I need to go pee too. You're working at a cook at Chili's, bro. Man, fuck yeah. Dog, you're killing it, dog. That's what I'm saying, bro. Hey, man. And you're going to win. And you're going to do and you're going to do better than the guys who think they all cool now. Watch. Give us some time. That's it, baby. I ain't read the tortoise in the hair. Stop playing with me. DJT on the high. Google's also moving too, but Spy hit another high and then coming down. HD popping as well. Yeah, I haven't seen that one in a while. You got DJT pop and HD, Starbucks, a couple of others. Spy came down. Google at the highs. Why are the Google bid and asks the same? Are? Giggling. That's it, bro. Yeah, Hood and Palantir didn't do as good today. Even though the other days they kind of went up a little more. We should hear something from the trade meeting. Yes, 100%. Well, it maybe. You might just hear it ended. So you're going to hear something, but I don't know how material it'll be. So that is the caveat. Intel popping right now. Again, DJT volume. Ugh. Bonds again. Bonds just gave up the whole rally, but then now that makes sense. If the bonds go red and we close like this, then yeah, Boeing on the low. No! What do you mean low? Yeah, Uber is dropping as well. Again, I don't know if that's related to Tesla. The Tesla one was the tax credits, but now that came back up. And then Google's still running. The premiums are about to hit a new high through all of this. We just love Bradley Frizzle. Hey, man. Hey, man. Shout out Bradley Frizzle. Hey, man. There's fat at the high. I need to go pee. Energy's ripping. Watch out for another headline related to OPEC. Yeah, Bob is slipping. I don't like that. Again, today was a lot more calmer with the China shit. All right.
And doing it
UMP
intelligence, which is something that I think users
we've seen
would
UMP a couple times.
And while
it's decent, 1%. Not a big mover.
I do believe
Check
that they're
Union
putting
Pacific.
those points in
I'm
place
probably
so
gonna
that
fade
they
it,
have a
but
roadmap
I like that.
to get there eventually.
That could go another
when you think
2%.
about the tools that are required, right?
UMP,
so you need
I'm
sort
gonna
of
check if they're
faster
at an
chips, you need
event.
faster
I need to
memory.
go pee.
They're working on all those things at the back end because a lot of this is on
UNP,
device
let me
processing.
check. I haven't made
and so
a play.
to
I
get
don't
there,
think I'm
you
going
need
to.
device capabilities, you need tech sort of step function changes. And those are the things that you will see in iPhones as you look forward the next couple of years.
They're at Wells Fargo conference, UMP. Literally, Wells Fargo conference at 7:30.
What you would like to do.
So it just started 6 minutes ago.
On Amazon, whether it be booking a ride share.
IBP on the high, a couple of things moving.
That just become part of the process of how we use the phone. That, I think, is why AI at the edge will be dominated by Apple, because it's just going to become part of how we do things.
Yeah,
well,
all right, now it's
the liquid
1.5.
glass is pretty cool. Wamsi, thank you for coming on.
Oh, I'm looking at
and stating
time.
the case. We appreciate it.
Yeah,
And
they
Apple shares are
215'd all
holding
those
up well.
options
They're actually
though.
up right now,
Somebody
almost
just
a
got one at
4%.
15
Wamsi
cents. That
Mohan.
was a good one.
Oh, that's
Okay,
good.
that's kind of
CNBC
turning
News
into
update
it.
now.
Eyes on
Savannah
it.
now has that for
I'm
us.
still gonna
Savannah.
fade it though, probably.
Hey, David, good morning to you. Well, President Trump defended his decision this morning to send National Guard troops to Los Angeles, claiming the city would be burning to the ground right now if he hadn't. 700 Marines and another 2,000 National Guard troops have been deployed to the city on the president's orders amid protests against federal immigration raids. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth is facing a House subcommittee today.
Okay, I'm gonna switch it to Bloomberg.
One analyst finally realized that their drugs were
back. Follow me on Instagram at the Trading Fraternity.
No,
all the long-term plays are there, even on Real Cult News on
Parvus
Twitter.
Asset Management building a stake, and that's as we know the drug maker has been struggling, and it seems like Parvus is interested in influencing the appointment of the CEO. I mean, you've interviewed the CEO. His departure last month came as a shock, especially because of the company's culture. I mean, in 100 years, they only saw 5 CEOs, so that was really surprising to a lot of folks. And now with this possibility, investors are cheering that, so maybe they'll have a new leader. And we know that Novo's drugs, Ozempic and Wegovy, have become household names, but they've really struggled to keep up with their rivals.
Lars Frogard Jorgensen is his name.
It's an enjoyable name to say.
The former CEO of
And I feel like
Novo.
he did a pretty good job there. I mean,
Yeah.
their stock is
Yeah, no,
way better than it was when he came in.
They have high standards over there because, I mean, the stock has underperformed, but he did oversee it at a time of fantastic growth. But we'll have to see how that story develops now with an activist involved. Let's end, though, on J.M. Smuckers. Smuckers, at one point falling by the most since 2006 after reporting earnings.
Yes, and now it's still not looking good, down by 14%, so it's not a good day. The company said U.S. tariffs and increasing coffee prices will really weigh on their profit for the coming fiscal year, estimated at $1 a share. So Citi analysts said that they were already concerned prior to this report, but then when they saw the report, it was well below even the most bearish outlooks that they've heard. So that's definitely not a good thing to hear. And this is a big deal for Smuckers because they oversee the brands Folgers and Cafe Bustelo. I don't drink those two, I'm an espresso drinker. But it's not doing well because last year the company generated a third of its revenue from coffee, and yet coffee prices were already increased 3 times since June, and they will increase it further in August. So what will we drink in the morning now?
I will just continue to buy Starbucks cold brew. Have you ever had
It's
an
Folgers. It's Folgers.
I know, but I'm not going to drink that.
The best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup.
That's what you drink.
No. The
No,
best
that's
part
just-
of waking
Have you ever had an
up
Uncrustable?
is the
No, I
long-term
haven't.
I didn't think so.
going up.
It's very American, I think.
Yes.
Very
I think the
Happy holidays.
NFL eats like
Yeah.
hundreds of thousands
Oh, wait.
of Uncrustables
All right,
every
I got some
season.
carbo.
That you can
We're
see
good
that
to
in
go.
the earnings.
It's like a massive amount of carbohydrates. It's like a huge energy kick.
What I
And I
need.
bought a box of they're frozen. You've got to defrost them.
All right, thanks, guys. All right, Googly. All right, now the plays are up over 100. Again, if you were even late, they went up 50. But yeah, those just slow. That's it. Usually to get that gain, you would get that a lot quicker, but slowly riding up. Again, I went with time, so that is a little different. Oh, NVO, climb back up. SPY, that's it, man. We haven't heard anything. Unity popping now. Again, we haven't heard Unity really going up. Again, that's what? 50 cents? Ooh, wow. So yeah, it's 2% right there. Unity, pop in, check if there's news. Again, a lot of people are probably just gonna get hyped on it. Best part of waking up. FI MasterCard too. BBAI, Para. Oh, I hate Para. Again, there's been a lot of activity, WBD and even AT&T, so you never know. Growl, PLD. Googly woogly. Crypto, I don't know. They were doing a little bit good today, but I don't know if it flipped. MCHP, again, they're at the conference. Para just had a fat pop. Yeah, MCHP still up. Who's the other one? UNP. Yeah, that one, again, that went up 1. Yeah, had Greta the news. They said that Greta was technically kidnapped. One court of law said that they weren't allowed to do it, so technically they kidnapped Greta. That's crazy. And then I was like, bro, that should be a movie. You know what I'm saying? Imagine if you mixed like Chronicles of Narnia, Pirates of the Caribbean, and Black Hawk Down with Greta. Yeah, bro, I'm telling you, I need to get my Hollywood career started. If anybody wants to fund these movie ideas, I have enough money to fund it, but I think they're dog shit, so I'm gonna use your money. But if you want to support, I'm doing a couple of scripts right now, so you let me know. No, but tell me that wouldn't hit though, bro. Now you mix all of these with like Greta though. Oh, dude, even I know Donald Trump will watch it. She's interesting, I'll tell you that. It's a weird one, but you know, I'd watch Greta. Wow, look at that. Interesting, that one. All right, AT&T Communications, bro, Magan. That thing, again, they're gonna, I don't know if it's today or tomorrow, but yeah, the Magans have melted, bro. That one's good. How dare you? All right, spy. Ukraine brings home new group of prisoners of war, Zelensky says. So you got a positive Ukraine headline. I don't know if that's it. Bonds lower, stocks up. Again, a lot of things have been melting here for quite some time. It's really small, though. That's what I said yesterday. Yesterday felt like a good day, but it was tiny. So you're only up by 0.3. Russell is the real like runner right now at 1%. Dow is up only by 0.15, and then S&P is up by 0.3. Okay, Apple's starting to go. Yeah, but you got a couple things moving now. But yeah, it's like it's 1/3%. It feels good and it feels straight up, but you know, at the scoreboard, this is a small move. So just keep that in mind. Nike, SPY, another candle. So watch the China plays, and again, we are going to hear stuff, but we haven't heard it yet. Qualcomm and oil climbing. Yeah, Qualcomm, ST, Bitcoin dumping. It's weird. Everything, gold, silver, Bitcoin, they're all selling, and then the money's going to equities. Very fascinating, but I wouldn't read too much into it. It's still kind of early, and then we'll see where everything else takes us. Biomarine, NVO, come on, Habibi. Yeah, Biomarine again. Medtronic too. That's another one. You love it. I just love the long term. That's all. All right, see if that continues or not. AT&T, bro, those keep running. My God. Again, they gave a guidance update today. I think I had old AT&Ts. Where are they? Same price. UMP summary of Wells Fargo material carloads up 5% quarter to date, and bulk loadings up 12, and then coal 35% higher. That's great. All right, see again, a couple of names getting in red. Low ticker just picked up, but the SPY is still advancing. Again, a lot of the big tech is barely budging. Bitcoin is the only thing kind of dumping. I haven't looked at currencies yet. Again, yields and Bitcoin are the only losers on this. And now Boeing keeps flushing 60.24. All right, Google, we're going to replace you. Yeah, Boeing's down 1.6, man. Morgan Stanley CEO Ted Pick says pause after tariffs went into May. That changed in recent weeks. May have started to see deal-making announcements pick up in recent weeks. So Morgan Stanley's pumping M&A right now. ZenV on the high, WMB on the low. Again, SPY still near the high. Bonds giving up 3/4 of its gain today. There's Apple now, and then HD, and then you have Boeing on the low. Whirlpool kind of rocketing. I don't know if they're at an event. They're up another 3% today. And then Mattel, then Wayfair. So, again, more names advancing than not. I will get you another checkup. What time is it? 7:47? It's still mad early. So yeah, Dow Jones 19 green, 11 red, NASDAQ 69 green, 32 red. That got a little better. And then SPY 350 green, 150 in the red. That got another 20, 50 names better as well too. ENTG, LYB, and there you go. It's still melting. Again, don't get too like certain, because like I'm telling you, it feels good. It feels like a melt up, but this is so tiny. All it takes is one headline, one reversal for no damn reason, and then you're right back to filling the gap, okay? So just keep that in mind. You are doing the melt up. We're awaiting headlines, and remember, this could all be cushioned for tomorrow. Yeah. You added Whirlpool to the long term when I said not to. I'm sorry. No, you're weird. Because all I said was don't buy it when I'm up on it. Am I up on it or not? Why are you telling me that? What do you want me to know? You want me to know that you bought it, you want to flex, and you want to highlight that I gave you something against what you did, right? But what did I tell you? Buy at the lows. Buy when I'm not up on it. So you don't have to apologize to me. I'm trying to help you out. But you trying to make a point of breaking the rules, this is what I was trying to highlight to everybody on the last rant. You know what I'm saying? Are you all following me? You guys remember the last rant about like 30 minutes ago? And I was trying to explain it to y'all. Do you get what I'm trying to say to you right now? So this is, you are trying to highlight the breaking of rules. Again, my rules will keep you safe and will make you money. I don't know why y'all are so mad at them. I don't know why you want to bend rules that guarantee you the promised land. You know what I'm saying? I show you 3 accounts all going straight up. How do you not want that? But either way, that's fine. I won't even go into the motivation. But like I'm saying, you guys are trying to highlight breaking the rules. I will not tolerate it. So I'm glad you're doing good. I hope you do better. Just because you broke the speed limit and didn't get a ticket, that doesn't mean you didn't break the rules. So be careful. I still love all of you, but I ain't gonna tolerate that fuck shit. So amen. I thought that was UNH. It's Disney, NVO, SPY, everything. But yeah, man, that's why I hope y'all use me as a good guide. But you'll see, it's the same thing. Baba, we buy Baba at $70. They say, Josh, you told me not to buy it at 90. You know, I want you guys safe, okay? And there is, obviously, when you're being safe, you're going to miss out on shit, right? But I really hope y'all understand. Understanding is the key. You must understand the consequences. And a full understanding of that will help you make good decisions. So just be safe and get your bag up, baby. Grow it. It's a long, long game. We might get it. It might be around the corner. We'll see. But I haven't seen like China names move yet. And then some chips came down. But yeah, ideally we are looking for it. Rage bait? I don't think it is. You can't call it rage bait. It's not rage bait. I'm fucking loving it. Dude, look at my accounts. I'm telling the odds of somebody raging, the odds of it being me are not high. I use it as long-term bait. Good decision bait. So every time y'all throw that out, I get paid $5. I ban your ass. I clarify it for the well-mannered people. And then I get to rant about the long-term and making good decisions. So, amen. I will keep doing that. And I hope all of you get a long-term. Like I'm saying, for those of you not getting banned and those of you curious and you're new, like, look, bro, it's so easy. It's so easy. You are getting a lot of good examples of the mistakes not to make, from both interaction to action. Apple. And now NVO as well. Okay, Baba's coming down in the SPY. JD on the low. Yo, K-Web's dumping. So watch out. This might be either the drop and pop or it's actually going to drop. The Google's came down. And then that KWM, bro, that one's ripping. Googly. Another both NVOs. Working. Lake. We saw that one in the morning. I think, oh no, Lion. That's the Munchkin one. Nibis. Stellantis on the high. That one's odd. Yeah, and Spy still holding a couple names, but like, look at China right there. China just gapped down. I just saw Baba, JD, and a few others. So, see. Yeah, Google even dropped a little bit too. And then NVO, get ready for 80. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. So you started a long term and have value. What are some anchors? Well, if you just started a long term and like you actually just started, how the fuck do you know what an anchor is? So that means you heard me talk about it before. And that means the anchors are the companies we mentioned when we talked about it. Again, there's Pepsi and a few others out there, but it's a very small list. So that's why I keep saying just listen once and act on it while the time is there, because if you need this constant validation and you know what I'm saying, it's just you're missing out, or you're not going to make a movement. So thankfully Pepsi hasn't moved, but now you're missing the dividend. So I wouldn't even buy Pepsi anymore. I like it, but now it's the same price and you should have gotten the dividend 2 weeks ago, a week ago. So, but you know what an anchor is, and I did mention like 5 companies when I brought that conversation up. So it's high quality blue chip names you know about, and that will be around for 10 years. Apple, Tesla is coming back. I like Apple now too. I think Apple's taking the Google juice unless Google holds. Microsoft's just staying pinned, and then see if Nvidia goes up. Be a king. Seek. Amen. Amen. NVCR, isn't that a cancer drug? Okay, Spy's still working. Morgan Stanley says deal pipelines are steady growing. My fault, yeah. But you know it though. I'm not mad at you, bro. I'm just telling you though, like for everybody, you know the answer. So all you have to do is wait. That's your problem. Because now you're like, oh, what do I do? What do I do? What's an anchor? You're trying to change the definition so you can find something. But notice, this is what I've been telling everybody. You guys don't think it's weird? I've only made 2 moves this entire year. This whole year, I've done nothing except NVO and pizza. That's it. So that's why, like, wait. And if you know what you're looking for, great. Understand it. But now you have to wait. So it's like you already have an anchor, you already bought stuff. It's like, yeah, you're feeling the rush and you want to do it, but if you know this content, you know the info, now we just need the price. Now we need the setup. But that requires patience, yeah, and you don't work in the government. You don't need to move the goalpost. And now we know what the goal is, but we have to wait till it gets there. Big red. Not too big, but look, bonds catching a bid. Big tech, low ticker picking up, and China 5 minutes ago, they led the decline. So we might get a headline. And let's see, Boeing's already selling, low ticker's still going. That's your first, actually, you've had 2 candles red before. But other than that today, this is like you haven't really had 2 big red candles back to back. I know that sounds wild, but look. So see, yeah, it's already holding back up. But unless you get big tech drop in or watch like a wicked bond currency move. You know the vibe. Bro, that KWM went up 60%. So I'm glad we have free shares, but damn. It's crazy. Bro, I'm shocked. Y'all watch me try to make a SPY account here. You watch me buy the dip 2 days in a row. It's like, I didn't even post a bunch of content to not make it confusing. I ain't post anything else on my Instagram. It's pinned on the Twitter, and I still have people who ignored all of it, didn't want to buy at the cheapest price, and now are insisting and getting mad to purchase at a high. So again, I'm not talking shit. I really am not. I am trying to encourage all of you to be wise. Do not be the person who buys high and sells low. Buy low and sell high. Buy low and hold. But do you get what I'm saying? We all need to grow out of this. You do not want to have that mentality where you are constantly buying afterwards. You do not want to chase. Don't buy things that were cheap a week, a month ago, and willingly pay more money for them. That is not a good strategy of life. So, I hope you feel me, okay? Oh, I know it's not my fault, because at the same respect, you realize there's at least 3,000 to 5,000 people who followed along with me. So yeah, I made it easy, and some people still made out, but like I was trying to encourage and tell some of y'all, yo, those of you riding and growing with me, bro, we're taking territory. That's it. You just took another fucking 50% off all of these names. You're still in the lead. You still got cash for the next move, and now 3,000 more people, 5,000 just took one more step closer and one more big wave of acquiring more assets. So let's keep doing it, baby. And that's what I'm saying. Get on board. But at the end of the day, for yourself, real estate, operating and being good at business, bro, stop paying the high prices. Stop it. Just stop it. It was just cheap. Don't insist on paying more. Please. 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 So yeah, we'll see. NVO. All right, we'll see what happens at 80. UPS on the high. So that's your first little breakdown, man. We got Euro close in 30 minutes, but like I'm telling you, you haven't really had multiple red candles today. So let's see what happens here and how that continues or not. Brown Foreman. It's interesting. I looked into it a couple months ago when Chad brought it up. Jack Daniels, right? I never knew that was them. So it pays a dividend. It's a product everybody knows about. So I could consider it, but I haven't looked into it beyond that conversation we had on stream. I think Netflix, both rotation and the 1 billion. Boeing popping. I just like yelling. But no, and go. Hold on. Airline shit's moving. I see it. I smell it. And then ARC and then uranium on the low. Morgan Stanley aiming to raise deposits. Why? So yeah, spy at Boeing booked 300 orders. Yeah, I knew I smelled something. I knew I smelt it. Yeah, 300 orders on Boeing. That's huge, actually. I need to double check, but remember last time they never went above like 70 or something. A blockbuster May, including company's biggest wide-body order ever. 45 aircraft in May, including 31 737s and 7 787s. 127 787s and 30 777X, 146 737 Maxes, and then 737 Max production, 38 per month. We hit 1,000% the last time that headline came in. So now, I don't know, it might be watered down, but that is coming out. And it was a blockbuster, one of their biggest May in deliveries. Okay, it's ripping. Like I'm saying, there's more details. You already know like half of this, but yeah, they're starting to pick up again. I don't know how long. This is either going to fade or this shit's about to rip green. I can't tell. I already have plays, so I'm not going to chase it, but if it does hit, I'm probably going to regret it. So figure that one out, but we have the plays from yesterday. We don't need to force it. Whoa, ARAI. I saw that one earlier. SPY got a candle off that. Again, Morgan Stanley comments as well. No, Meta News was just this morning, but yeah, they're dumping. I don't know if that's with everything else. Google's even coming down, Microsoft. But yeah, Meta is starting to dump. Good call. And Amazon, all the big tech. Big tech dropping, everything running. Like, look at Target. Amazon down, Target up, Boeing still going off of that. Again, record May orders. Novo planning to begin new trial for CagriSema drug. I have no idea what that is. So market's either going to love it or hate it, but new trial for Novo. What is CagriSema? Any doctors in here? Yeah, that's coming out right now. Estee Lauder on the high too. Tie that into China. So literally NVO starting a new trial, and then EL just popping, SPY getting back that one candle. Oh, is it oral GLP-1? No. No, let me check. That'd be fire. See if anybody else, see if VKTX or Pfizer reacts. HIW pop. 30 highs, new. The liquid is fudge. Airbnb facing criminal complaints for profiting from Israeli war crimes and stolen Palestinian homes. Well, Airbnb. Let's see. I've never heard them blame them for war crimes. Oh! How we blame them for Bradley Frizzle? Yeah, let's go. 45 aircraft in May on Boeing. Oh, UNP still going in the peach. Oh, no. More like the peach delivered. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Good morning. That's what I'm talking about. RNG starting to pop. Lulu as well. Airbnb up on war crimes. It goes down when they double earnings, but war crimes they like. They like. Thanks, Wall Street. Spain, natural gas import numbers. All right. I need to check NVO. What is it? NVO. I want to see CagriSema. CagriSema. I wasn't trying to put in an order. Billy. Oh, yo, welcome, dude. Billy, Rick Ruby, X-Flare. Oh, man, there's a lot going on, guys. We getting headlines. We looking up everything, bro. So, hey, man, welcome. Fastest news on the planet. Hey, man, we try. You guys even have a delay. That's the funny part. But I still love you and get a long term, because what good is fast news if you never own anything? That's fucking crazy. You know what I'm saying? Oh, what? Oh, dude, NVO has a meeting. Yeah, NVO, June 22nd and 23rd. American Diabetes Association. And 21st. Yeah, so in the next, there's an R&D day for NVO. I see a bunch of headlines. But I don't know what this CagriSema is. You guys said it's the oral GLP-1. I'm just verifying. CagriSema. The GLP-1 amylin receptor offering insights. Obesity. Yeah, I guess. I think it is the oral one. Tesla rip. RNG just popped. Yeah, Tesla just came back up again. The little tax thing didn't stop it. And then the video coming back up. Google still holding. SPY near the high. Arbelius. Yeah, experimental combination weight loss drug dubbed CagriSema. Oh, dude. Yeah, no, this is huge. Are you ready? So it's like I think it's oral mix. It's like a combination. But yeah, guess what? This was the trial that did bad at the beginning of the year when we got the first discount on NVO. It was one of these drops. One of these was on a bad CagriSema phase 1. So yeah, that means if they could do good on it, then you'll recover it all. Or if they fail again, it'll get even worse. MRIN. All right, SPY wants to go. Bonds near the low. Oil at the high. Okay. All right. And then I'm going to sell my short term because I got NVOs with time. I'm going to take the 200% on the ones from this morning. Okay, I sold the rest of those NVOs. That was from the headline yesterday. Lulu going up now. Again, Nike, any of these China retail plays have done pretty decent, believe it or not. MRIN, whatever this is. Marin Software up 100%. Turkey launches antitrust into Coca-Cola. All right. Highest level since late 23 on Boeing. Coca-Cola not react. Again, Boeing didn't really have follow through on that. Germany MERS, question of how long Russia will persist depends on severity of sanctions. Tesla, new high. There it is, Tessie. Yeah, I don't, is Elon tweeting or something? Yeah, I don't see anything yet. Tesla. BBY, that Best Buy? Why are they up so much? Yeah, dude, Tesla just woke up out of nowhere, and they had that little pullback. Yo, Tesla's getting a lot bigger. Hold on. Where is the Elon Musk? Elon Musk? Where is Elon Musk? Elon, did he make a tweet? He make a no tweet. Make a no tweet. Where is Elon? I don't see the Elon. Yang on the high, though, so China's starting to dump. Tesla moving. Again, Mag 7, you already saw Meta and a couple of other ones. Yeah, come down here. But then you have Tesla leading, and then Apple's doing good. So it's kind of interesting, but you had your first little reds. You bounced back up. You had Boeing headlines, but now you're coming back down. And then a couple of names are popping, and then other ones are going down. Meta to pay $15 billion for Scale AI. That's huge, bro. Blech. Dude, Zuckerberg's doing it again, but this time he's in the lead, but then that's how he did it last time. Well, yeah, that's a lot. Scale, again, Scale was we had a headline on it yesterday. The founder spoke before Congress a year or so ago, I think, on AI shit. But yeah, that's a lot. All right, SPY, back to VWAP, the lowest you've been in about an hour. Again, you got Euro close in 20 minutes, so this is all part of that too. RXRX, FDA planning to use AI to increase efficiency, deciding whether to approve new drugs and devices. Prosus purchased 4 million shares of what? Morgan Stanley Bank looking to raise deposit. Dividend is sacrosanct. Says stock buybacks will be opportunistic. U.S. and China talks have concluded. London, U.S. official, coming out now. So get ready. You're going to start getting headlines now, or we get nothing, and then you have to wait with uncertainty. But yeah, officials are saying talks have concluded. ASB. All right, well, you got that Meta, and now we're getting the China talks ending, but we don't know. That's it. That's the funny part. We don't know what the readout is. We don't know the updates, what they agreed upon. So maybe people might be anticipating that. So be on the lookout. NSC, again, you had UNP run up. Same industries there. All right, a lot of things are going up. Or at least the high tickers is pretty active, even on the lows. Caesars and Ford. So Caesars, decent pop. It's actually pretty small. Qualcomm still going. Ford, now UPS and Tesla. Yeah, bro. Today was value. We were talking yesterday of all the positioning still and all that. But today, man, a lot of these value names, we were just talking how some of these names might not end up staying there. But yeah, they took off, bro. MO dumping. Ooh, MO. Check if there's headlines. Kind of looks like news, but it's only 1%, 1.5% right now. Alrighty. Caesar. Just keep an eye on NVIDIA or Meta. We need another big tech one. I think Tesla helped you out. PayPal keeps going too. My goodness. And then EXE on the low. And then BSX, Boston Scientific. So EXE's energy, Boston down 1. Enphase popping. Dude, there's so many random ass. The push and pull. We were just talking summer of rotation. But yeah, you're getting it a lot. Now, Uber was on the low. Estee Lauder was on fire. Uber's kind of just hanging out here. Where's Disney? Yeah, Disney, bro. Disney 118, bro. This is a huge level. I was saying this in the morning here. You're higher now. You're getting to the point of the year, but it's like anything above 118 and then 122. That's literally like the highest you've been in like 3 years. So yeah, you're getting to that point now too. Lots of fun. Land, Disney, Climate, and PayPal, UNH, and Hum. Regen is at a conference today, so you're gonna get a headline somewhere there. UNH and Humana are dying. So watch, see if there's any bad news in Medicare. And Meta agreed to take a 49% stake in data labeling scale. Wow. Actually, that's not bad. I thought they were gonna buy a small portion. They bought half of it. You know what, Mark? I'm gonna give you a thumbs up, Mark. I hope he doesn't fall for the same thing last time, but at least they walked away with half of a big AI company. Because again, scale, people know about it. It already has government influence, or it's been a part of it. But I thought he was about to pay $15 billion for like 2% or some dumb shit. But he bought half of it. And then Chancellor Merz, Germany, calls on U.S. government to increase pressure on Russia. And NVIDIA kind of running. Got SPY still just holding this level. You got 15 minutes till Euro close. You started listening to me and now you're winning. That's good, but you didn't listen, because if you read the rules, you would know I would ban you for flexing. So I appreciate you giving me credit, but you know, I'll say God be the glory for your success. But follow the rules, please, if you would like to have a future in here. Otherwise, go get a house and good luck. Keep making money. Pepsi's post-dividend though. That's it. Now, if I end, I'm like, come on, you got to give me a big discount if you want me to buy it now after the divvy. Yeah, Intel and chips were on fire today. Biogen. That's fresh. Man, all right. See, that's what I was saying, bro. Just as quickly, feels like you're melting over. It's a really small day. You're at the highs, but bond's going lower. So let's see. You're a nice guy, open face. You answered him? I didn't. I just banned him. That's a dumb question. You know exactly where. Bitcoin bouncing. That would be nice. Dude, that ARAI, that thing's just ripping, bro. The hell? I saw that one earlier. Yeah, Starbucks was on fire. No, I think we're going to await the headline, but they said that the talks concluded. So I'm sure we got a development right around the corner. USO and oil still running again. Yeah, Starbucks even getting volume here at the high. It's not bad. Cruise lines. I don't know. I don't like cruises. I've never really liked them. And they were really big underperformers. And then, like, in a weird way, like, around COVID and after COVID, cruise lines got really popular. Although there was even a bad cruise COVID. But I don't really like them as plays. But it's like tourism. That's how I wouldn't value it like an airline. I would value it like an Airbnb. It's literally like it's just tourism. You know, that's the demand. People want to go outside. They want to spend money and go places. It's hospitality. I don't view a cruise as like transports. You know what I'm saying? It's not like people are paying to go somewhere. They're paying to have an experience. So it's a service essentially, but it's not to like move shit. It's to go out. Waystar Holding, bro, you were chilling. All right, then we got 12 minutes till Euro. I do need to go pee. I might get ahead of it. Might go to the bathroom right now. All right. I will be RB. Follow me on Instagram at the Trading Fraternity. Real Code News on Twitter. KRE. That keeps running. All right. Burp.
Right. But I think like so far this year, Apple has been trading on trade risk, right? On tariff risk. And when we were like literally in the car on the way to Apple WWDC, we were asking ourselves, has this name started trading on that AI concern yet or not?
I think we've seen that a little bit around the WWDC event, and we certainly saw that after the event yesterday where people were a little bit disappointed that there wasn't a big AI announcement coming out of the keynote presentation. So I think we're seeing that a little bit, but Apple, like a lot of big tech companies, I think are still trying to figure out their strategy around AI and are putting a lot of money behind it.
Tiffany, you set yourself up for this by saying the big question is what happens next. For the technology sector, what happens next?
I think we're still very positive on the tech sector for the rest of the year. There's a lot of good tailwinds for the sector. Obviously, tariffs and export restrictions could come out of left field for the rest of the year. But there's a lot of good tailwinds for earnings growth, including AI investment that continues to be very strong across multiple parts of the market. If we look at earnings growth expectations for the rest of the year or for the full year, the tech sector is still expected to grow much faster than the rest of the market. And as I mentioned before, a lot of the valuations across certain subgroups of tech look very attractive versus their history. So we're still very positive on the sector.
And are you positive on the commitment of capital coming from these companies? Look at what Mark Zuckerberg's doing, devoting his own time, his own dining table, but also sheer quantities of cash to make sure that he tries to win AGI, as it's known.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's not alone. Microsoft, Apple, Alphabet, Amazon are all making huge investments into AI, and I think that has a great knock-on effect for parts of the semiconductor equipment, parts of software, other parts of the economy, including industrials, that all feed into that AI infrastructure.
Tiffany Wade of Columbia Threadneedle Investments, thank you very much. Now coming up, Uber and Wave plan to test robo-taxis in London. We have more on that next. This is Bloomberg Tech.
What does it mean to be rich? It's not just about the places you can go, but also the people who welcome you home. The key to being rich is knowing what counts.
Your fucking family. Go spend time with your kids. The fuck, Bloomberg, with your stupid ad. You're right. Go spend time with your family. Stop chasing money, getting depressed. Wow, okay, I had to stop the flow for that. I'll let that play in the background, but yeah, I need to finish. Anyways. Yeah. Oh, I'm here. GPC, that's a cancer drug. Again, maybe Goldman. Remember, that conference is still going on. There's GM at the high. So, again, we had Ford running earlier. Bonds should worry you. I said this yesterday. I was like, man, just don't forget, we're going to have a high yield rate freak out eventually. But this is the danger zone from the beginning of the year. We just, like, hit it and then bounced up a little bit after going lower. But, like, no, you're still there. The market is doing very well with high yields. Remember, we hit a high last time, but eventually you will get a reaction. So again, there is bond auctions. No one cares about the 3-year today, but middle of the week, end of the week, the 30-year long end, that's where we're going to really start seeing some shit. So we'll see if that rate freak out may materialize after that, or the data. U.S.-China talks are still ongoing? Huh? So they're saying the talks are still going. They just said it ended. Yeah, what the fuck? I'm confused. So they just said, one official said it ended, but I think they're implying that there's another round. Not like today. They may have finished today's talks, but I think they're saying in general, like, they still have, like, stuff to discuss. First headline was from U.S. official, too. I don't know. We'll see. That one's odd. So again, I thought we were going to start hearing details soon, but that might have just changed. I'm not too sure. Unfinished business. I just want a long term. That's it. What do you mean? Is UNH still flushing, or did it come up? Toast is on the low. APLD, SMR, WY on the high. Yeah, UNH flushing 300. Yeah, the chips. I think the chip sale, they're going to probably do it. The U.S. just wants something. But yeah, that will be a big update. So we are waiting on it. Zio. All right, SPY running. Chris Wright, reserve needs to finish repairs for refill. Also needs sale cancellation. Energy director is talking about refilling the SPR. And now we're popping. Again, officials are talking. So we might, again, we just had that report, so let's see if we get any update on what happened today. That is going to be the big driver. And yeah, Euro close in 4 minutes, so wherever you're just holding, even by Euro close, this upside move, still small like I told you, but everything green, and then after Euro, let's see what the final move will be. Okay, Netflix still flushing, you saw that all day. Give me the tic-tac. I'll give you the chips, you give me tic-tac. Come on. Come on, tic-tac. Tic-tac, the time's running out. Tic-tac, make a choice. We gotta do it. We gotta do it. I'll work with them. They're tough negotiators, I'll tell you. My goodness. UNH still going. Roblo, low ticker's picking up, but now you're getting energy. Look, that Chris Wright headline. Oil's going up. XOM, XLE, SOP. All the energy oil plays are moving up right now. preps backup GOP bill. Oh, wow. That could be good. Like I'm saying, that is what we all care about. I'm telling you. All you should really care about right now is whether or not we get the same bill or we get another one. And that will determine a lot of our economic futures. All right, candle getting worse. Iran becoming much more aggressive. That's not it. Big red. Uh-oh, hot dog. Whoa. All right, what is that? I don't know. Bro, big red. I don't have a headline yet. I only see Iran stuff. Trump is talking. I see the Fox stuff. Yeah, bigger red there. He said something. No tax on tips or overtime may not fit. This could be the big bill, but I think it's Trump saying something. I really do. So he's speaking on Fox Business, and then you're hearing about the second one. No, it's not the bond auction. I know there's a 3-year bond auction right now, but that is not it. What? Premiums didn't even go up. This is weird. Yeah, bro, there's some... Look, bonds didn't move that much. I think it's a Trump comment in big tech. But yeah, that's massive, bro. But nothing else is moving, sadly. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm not really a buyer. I'm looking for the Fox thing now. I'm just trying to verify this all. Because that's a massive move. That's 20 points, bro. But nothing else is moving off of it. Some premiums are up. Even like the market maker, they're not even scamming the premiums. They're not even offering like a lot. There was the Iran thing. And then you got Hegseth testifying. I'm looking for Trump right now. But I do see Trump says. I see that one and then the big, beautiful bill shit. Again, if there's a new spending bill, that could change everything. Again, maybe that takes away the rocket fuel. Yeah, very weird. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, now you filled the gap, but like, dude, nothing else got triggered. So, yeah, I was slow to react, but I'm glad. Target, all of our favorite values today ripped.
In terms of the overall picture,
yeah, he's not on here anymore.
ICE operations too much.
I don't think
There's going to be protests all around the country on Saturday, not the King Day, against the King. You think things will heat up again in Los Angeles on Saturday?
Well, if they continue to arrest the people that are doing all the agitation, I mean, we've had protests before, peaceful, with tens of thousands of people on the streets, and they were protected by local law enforcement, and it worked. We did that in 2020 with the Black Lives Matter movement and George Floyd, and we were able to separate the violent protesters or the activists versus the people who are peacefully protesting. If they can do the same thing this weekend, I think it can be successful. We can minimize the damage, but it requires a heavy police presence and coordination with all the different entities.
Alex Villanueva, thank you very much for being on the show, sir. We appreciate it. See you soon.
You got it.
Waymo responding after rioters set their self-driving cars on fire in Los Angeles. Ashley, what's the company doing about it?
Well, the smart thing, they're suspending service in the downtown area after officials with the LAPD reportedly advised the company to do.
Yeah, so Trump's not there. That's Fox. Fox business. Oh, the protests during Trump. I mean, either way, this is a Cali thing, bro. This is like, and then you guys know the tinfoil, right? So everybody's looking and they're like, where the fuck are these people getting the masks? And sure enough, the only place you could buy these expensive protective masks and who sells them in bulk? Walmart. And then if you go look at some of the ads, there's literally ads in newspapers telling people about protests that are happening. It's called Stop the Kings. And literally at the bottom, it's paid for by Christy, what's her name? Walton, one of the Walmart heirs. So she is the one who's funding a lot of this. Like I showed you a video, guys, yesterday of like protesters that you've seen at 15 different events. So, but this time around now, people are like, what the fuck? Like, where are people getting like shields? Like, and all this other stuff. So yeah, it's kind of crazy. But that's what I'm saying. Like, this is a Cali thing. I don't think this is just, you know, I think it's targeted on Cali. And like I said yesterday, unfortunately, believe me, I think some of you, if you have listened to me, you know my stance. I love my Latinos, bro. Ask anybody in here, bro. I'm an honorary Latino, so I don't want to hear it. But I don't think this is about immigration. I think this is a different security threat, and I think it's terrible. So be safe out there. I'm not going. Remember yesterday, but be careful, because, like, bro, they're like arresting people. I don't even want to be out there, because if you're on the wrong road and they close it off and there's shit going on, you will get in trouble. So yeah, I'm gonna keep my clean record clean. Good evening. NIH says established process of appeals, grants, and terminations to take weeks, not years. All right, you're ripping it. Dude, that little drop was nothing. That was Euro close. You filled the gap. Nothing else moved. Bonds tweaked a little bit. We don't even have an update. And then Polish President-elect Nowak spoke with U.S. President Trump, talked about close partnership. It was weird because the day was smaller than that 20 points. That shook it up. But then again, some of these days when we have that move, maybe there might be something brewing. So you never know. But then again, it could also just be those motherfuckers scamming you. So yeah, welcome. NVO, baby. Taken out. It was weird. It was very weird. That drop. But again, like, I'm kind of used to it at this point. I'm not like, like, dude, we've seen some of them hit, but it's been a while since we've had a real news driver. Like, Trump says something. It's been months. Ever since Liberation Day and extreme volatility, the news headlines are a little different. So we just got to vibe with it. Well, yeah, there was many riots. LA has had huge riots since the early 90s. A lot, even before that. And that's the thing, because, like, you guys got to realize this isn't what's not normal about this situation is the government fighting back, and not the federal government, the states. Because everyone's like, oh, why is Donald Trump deploying National Guard? Bro, they've done that many times. That's not new. The part that's weird is that Donald Trump deployed the National Guard without the governor of California, without the governor of that state, without him agreeing. That's new. So look, I'll show you a video. I saw this yesterday. I think you guys will like. If you like history, here's your boy, baby. Come on. You know, George's dad, bro.
A tragic series of events for the city of Los Angeles.
Look.
Nearly 4,000
This is in 1992 when they deployed him, but again, 1992 the governor supported it.
And the senseless
every
deaths
time.
Of over
the only
30
time was
people.
In like the 60s or 70s the governor wasn't down.
Right now, there are 3,000 National Guardsmen on duty in the city of Los Angeles. Another 2,200 stand ready to provide
similar numbers too.
Support. To supplement this effort, I've taken several additional actions. First, this morning I've ordered the Justice Department to dispatch 1,000 federal riot-trained law enforcement officials to help restore order in Los Angeles, beginning tonight. These officials include FBI SWAT teams, special riot control units of the U.S. Marshals Service, the Border Patrol, and other federal law enforcement agencies. Second, another 1,000 federal law enforcement officials are on standby alert should they be needed. Third, early today, I directed 3,000 members of the 7th Infantry and 1,500 Marines to stand by at El Toro Air Station, California. Tonight, at the request of the governor and the mayor, I have committed these troops to help restore order. I'm also federalizing the National Guard, and I'm instructing General Colin Powell to place all those troops under a central command.
Ta-da! Oh, why'd it cut out?
All those troops under a central command.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like I said this yesterday, the problem, like this is what's so weird about it. It's the government. It's like the clashing of government, state and federal. California, Newsom, the mayor, Bass, they're just not down with Trump. And they're operating in a very distinct way. That's what makes this so like, otherwise, any other time in history, if there was a riot and the president deployed people, nobody would have been shocked. Nobody would have made a big deal about it. You would have been grateful. The only problem is that you have the governor and mayor saying one thing and they didn't want it. So if it was up to Gavin Newsom, he would have nothing. That's it. They would have just let him do whatever they wanted. Don't intervene. But the president's like, no, we have to intervene. But then the governor's like, nah, we don't think you need to. And that is the problem right now. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm like, in a weird way, you hear a lot of concepts of what it's about, but it's like, dude, this is a spat between federal and local governments, and it's right in front of you. Yeah, KW. All right, Spy coming up. That little pop, bro, that was just, that little drop was, yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know. It's truly fascinating, but I'm not going to try to get into people's minds because I don't know why Newsom is like, yeah, this is a good idea. But, you know, we'll see. I'll leave that in God's hands. Now, well, bro, you're right back up. So I hope you guys see it. I didn't react to it. I went straight to the currencies and the headlines. That was a big move, but it was sadly absolutely nothing. Yeah, I mean, we're already living through it, man. And like I said, just be mindful of where you're at now. Seize the opportunity. Because, again, eventually we're going to look back and we're going to see where we end. I've been telling you from the beginning of the year, by day 365, it's going to look a lot different. And yeah, but that's why I'm saying it's like, you have opportunity, and where we go by the end of the year, there's still a lot in store, and what exists today might not exist in the future, or it might flip. I think that's going to be a huge theme over the next couple of years. You're going to watch the laggers and leaders just keep switching spots, right? When something's leading, it's going to sell, and then the loser comes up, and vice versa, and you're going to do that a couple times. The long term will be studied in the future. I'm telling you, you know, and I hope I'm wrong, but may God bless all of you. What is this? European Commission unconditionally approves acquisition of Intellistat by SES. Yeah. But no, bro, I'm telling you, it's a dying breed. I can't stress it enough. Everywhere I see it, bro. And the way, dude, there's going to be people who inherit a ton of money and they are not going to handle it well. And I'm telling you, those of you who become owners and stick to everything I'm telling you seriously, and you have to understand why I'm telling you this, a real understanding, bro, I believe it. I believe the promise. And again, I think a lot of money and a lot of resources that are being mishandled by people, that money is going to transfer to the people who handle it well. And that vehicle, one of the major vehicles, will be via the long term. So I suggest all of you do it and do not delay and do not play around with your future. Because again, you're going to see the messaging and the learning. It's every year at a time. There's going to be less and less of a population of long-term holders. Holding how we do. 10 years minimum, applying. Watch, they're going to remix it. They're going to change it. They're going to lower the times. And before you know it, it'll be a small minority of people that are able to hold and do it properly. So do it. I'm telling you, man, it truly is It's something I thought I never would say this. I didn't ever think it would be like that. I thought it would be reversed. I thought everybody would, but no. The way it's going, bro, it's going to be very, very rare. So, again, take advantage of it now. Else, yeah, that one had yesterday that didn't have any follow through. Oh, yeah, it's up though, 2%. Spy back to VWAP. I'm saying, man, it's stay out of trouble, stay safe. Don't develop a gambling addiction. Watch 20 years. What do you think is going to happen? 20 years from now, I would say 20% of your peers who have more money than you today, they're susceptible to losing it all due to gambling. Did you know that 20% of people with a gambling problem file for bankruptcy in their life? So people who actively gamble, and I'm not talking like options, I'm talking like real gambling. Like, you know, like you go on sports, you go on casinos, and you're like a real, like you have that gambling in your bones. Yeah, you're about a quarter of you guys are go bankrupt by the time you die. So be careful. That's what I'm saying. Just stay out of trouble, hold, and because again, you don't have to do anything. Let everybody else make the mistake while you stick to the right path, and that will put you in the lead substantially. Okay, back up. You broke even on the wedding? Nice. You got a bunch of gifts? I love it, man. Congrats again. Woo! Yeah, they are tracking the phones of the people at the protest. That's what Reddit is putting out all this info. I'm telling you, I think Reddit is going to get in trouble. I want to wait a little bit and then maybe make a play, but I don't even want to play it because then I'll be biased. But I genuinely think Reddit needs to get in trouble. I don't know if I want them to get in trouble or if it's just naturally going to happen, because I'm telling you, bro, it's literally, they're organizing all of it. And then that kid on Twitter who was like posting the raids, he's getting arrested. The government already contacted him. There was somebody posting it. He was posting where the ICE raids were happening, and then everybody would attack. And so he got in trouble. But I'm telling you, bro, just go on Reddit. Go on Reddit LA, San Diego. My girl was showing me this. And I was like, dude, what? They were literally like, they're organizing on Reddit. They're literally organizing homegrown terrorism on Reddit. It's actually insane. That's why it's like, so I don't know how much longer they'll hold, you know, kind of with the, I think they hide under the Section 230, but it's weird, bro. You heard the heartbeat of the second baby? Oh, congrats, bro. Amen. Amen. Another long term on the way. How much longer? They could protest a lot. I explained it yesterday. Just, you know, it's a big population. And if it gets overwhelming, that's the real risk. So for now, it's not even an effect on the market. I don't think it will, but yeah, it is just kind of destabilizing, what's the word I'm looking? Destabilizing that situation in society. I don't know why I fried on that one right there. India and U.S. advance towards interim trade deal after 4-day talks. That's coming out now. Yo, dropping, popping. Now at the level we got India trade news. It's a little old. It's like I've seen it lightly circulated, but that is coming now from Reuters. They're dropping an exclusive right now. So again, it's been a while since we've had a trade reaction on the market. Yeah, AT&T gave guidance today too. That's why they are up. Yeah, Nike. Watch Lulu and then the other one, ONON. Any of those. Estee Lauder was on fire. They all calmed down though. And then you got UPS and Target, bro. Our value plays. The ones we've talked about. Disney, 52-week high. Oh, that's disgusting. Still small though. So we had that 20-point drop, and then now we're back here, just all barely moving. We haven't heard from China-US talks. We just heard that they ended. And then now you are waiting on maybe India trade deal. That is another headline that we just got, and we're about 30 minutes post-Euro close, Chatadonia. Is NVO still up? I guess her. Disney, yeah, we're up 31 on Disney. That's great. I can't believe it. Whirlpool came back a lot in the last 2 days. Yeah, a lot of value went up. You know what we haven't talked about today? Pizza. Abolish ICE? Listen, bro. I just looked at your chat facts, and I'm not going to be mean to you, but like, why hang out here when you could hang out on Reddit? You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't even have to hear me say anything, and you could just get hyped up. You know what I'm saying, bro? So go to your people. I got my people here, but we don't support that shit. Very simple, man. Again, a lot of us I'm son of immigrants, dude. Like, what are you guys saying? It's weird. All of this, and it's not about immigrants. It has nothing to do with them. It's a safety. This is a risk, a threat. But yeah, like I'm saying, just go to Reddit, dude. You could go organize a fucking rebellion. Why wouldn't you? You know that? I get banned. If I wanted to do it, I'd get banned on here. I would go to Reddit. So yeah, man, unfortunately, they don't vibe with my politics. So, but if it vibes with yours, why not go over there? I think you'll be fine, and you'll enjoy it a lot more, and it's free. It has to do with supporting your team? No, it doesn't. That's what I'm saying. That's why everybody looks so foolish lately. Even the Republicans. Because that's what I said to Elon. You have too many people just agreeing because they think it's a team game. And they're just agreeing with shit they don't even know. That's why they're like, can we not like tariffs anymore? And there's so many people who just fell in line with Elon. And they didn't believe in it. Like, you got to know what you're believing. Yeah, the team is America. We're all together, bro. Amen. It's everybody is one. So, but that's why I'm like, bro, you got to be careful, because it's really this is a weird ass time we live in. But a lot of people just conform. Yeah, 100%. That's why when the bill came out, you got how vocal have I been about Donald Trump? You can't say I haven't been. Some of you are mad about how vocal I've been about the president. And that's okay, because I support him. I loved him, everything. I voted for him. And right when that bill came out, I make a video and I say, what? I don't agree with this. I do not like this. That goes against my belief. They're spending money. Think for yourselves, you guys. There's no team game. We will all do better if everybody was genuine respectful and actually said what they mean because they mean it. Hertz. Oh, wow. Hertz, 7%. Ooh, let's see what we... Oh, there's no cheap ones. They already made it go crazy. Yeah, Hertz is rocketing, though. I'm looking for pennies. I can't find a penny one. If my life depended on it. Yeah, Hertz, 7%. I have no idea. That's just big volume. You can't... I'd play it if there was pennies, but there's no pennies. You got to pay like 5-10 cents. I don't like it. Remember, we've hit that before, but that one's starting to go. Eyes on Hertz. That's 7%. I'll check a headline. Let me send a stream alert. I have no play. I just want to make sure they know. Yeah, that one went last time. I'm not playing it. Is it Barclays conference? Good call. Casa Gemma. I'm looking at biotech data with my Hertz. It's glitching. Yeah, I think they are. I don't see the headline. I think they might be on the conference. If it was a penny, I'd play it. That's it. The risk to reward on a penny is too good. If we get good enough news and it's near the money and they glitch and give it for a penny, I'll take it all day. But if I got to pay 5 times more, fuck that. So yeah, I don't think it's not really good. Just because the risk to reward on the price is, but I don't even know why it's moving. Baba on the lows? Yeah, and Baidu. Good call. That's not good. Fox again. Remember yesterday that went crazy? Yeah, Barclays positive comments. But yeah, that's what I was telling. I always told you. The bill, I don't, like I saying, there's both good and bad. I just know the outcome. That's what I was sharing. I'm saying that's high. But the whole point is, all of you, I really hope I could give you that example. Just mean what you say what you mean, bro. Support what you believe, actually. And look into it if you don't know. But you don't have to just blindly support people, even if they are on your team, okay? Because again, I don't care, I care about people. That's why I care about you guys, your long terms, where your future goes. That's why I keep saying it. That's why I'm not going to get up here and say, wow, I disagree with that. That number is big, but I'm not going to say something just because it'll hurt my candidate. Fuck that. You say what you mean, bro, and you do it nicely, respectfully, and I think I did in that video, and I'm not holding it against anybody, but like I'm saying, there's no, support bad things just because you don't want your person to look bad. No, you need to believe what you say, and you need to believe something because you actually believe it. You get what I'm saying? Not just because you want to fit in, not just because it's cool, not just because it's... I'm telling you guys, for real, I don't care Republican or Democrat. This is how a lot of people have made a lot of mistakes. I've made this mistake, and it leads to really bad problems, and it's awkward because people don't know how to get out of it. And then it makes everybody look weird. You're running. Yeah, Meta initial inbox for DM and Threads app in Hong Kong, Thailand, and Argentina, but it's the spy right now. So Meta's rolling out new features with the spies popping off. So check again. I'm gonna do currencies. Remember, we haven't heard from China, and we had the India headline. So, but nothing else is moving currency land. This is all equity. Oil went down on it as well, and then bonds not even fucking moving, if anything. So this is just movement on the market, sadly. But yeah, you broke into another high. You got a Meta announcement on apps and foreign inclusion in Thailand and Argentina. So yeah, see where that leads. And then oil. Even though oil's down, oil companies are going up. And Micron. All right. There is. You can support and disagree. And I think the part we need to work on is being respectful. Like I'm saying, you know, I tried my best to be respectful in my disagreement. Even yesterday, that's why I was saying, some of you, don't go up to people. Don't be like, you're better than that. Just talk, disagree. And you know what I'm saying? And I think if we work on that together, everybody will be good. But I don't care what y'all believe in. I encourage you to really believe it, though. You know what I'm saying? And not because of somebody, not because of a candidate who cares about a team or fitting in. I strongly encourage you to stand on what you really believe and act in what you believe. It's truly, and especially some of you who want to be leaders and you want to get into politics, you want to do, I'm telling you, this is valuable, it's critical. And everywhere I look, bro, you see it too. Everybody just conforms one after the next, and they're not, that's why we're getting these problems. Everyone's just pushing and supporting stuff. They're just following along. So you're entitled to your beliefs, man. And that's why I'm saying, know what you believe, really look into it. And if you ever feel like it doesn't vibe with you, don't be afraid to talk about it, and it shouldn't be weird to talk about. So yeah, I hope that helps. Okay, I need to go pee again. It's already 9 o'clock. Oh, Michael Saylor on Bloomberg? Woo!
We have strike,
right, well,
strike, and strive. 3 publicly floating preferred stocks that are not dilutive to the equity. They all meet a different market requirement.
Right.
That $110 million of Bitcoin we bought last week, that was acquired without issuing any common stock. So what's going on here is that we're using our $60 billion of Bitcoin collateral to issue credit instruments. They never come due. There's no liquidation risk. There's not even an interest rate risk, right? It's a non-cumulative preferred, and we could suspend the dividends.
Right.
So at the end of the day, if he's lucky enough to short the stock below 1 times NAV, we're going to issue the preferreds, buy back the stock, and make money for our shareholders. If the stock trades at a weak premium, we're just going to sell the preferreds. And if the stock rallies up, he's going to get liquidated and wiped out.
Well, let's talk about that premium, because that is the heart of his short call on strategy, as you point out here. So he said recently on a podcast that shareholders are paying around $220,000 for Bitcoin that trades at $110,000, but the company is doing everything it can to close that spread, which is great. There's a catalyst. So he's referring to the fact that you are selling your own shares and buying Bitcoin. But when it comes to the premium that strategy shares enjoy over the price of Bitcoin itself, do you think that that's sustainable? The fact that, like he points out, that basically the value of your company is trading at twice that of Bitcoin itself.
What he still doesn't understand is we're not a holding company or a closed-end trust. We're an operating company. So when we issue, trust can't leverage the Bitcoin.
My job is buying Bitcoin.
Shares. They can't issue permanent shares.
The job is buying the coin.
Premium. We can.
It don't matter what I do, but my job is to go and buy it.
Gain equal to about $8.4 billion in the first 2 quarters of this year. That's the equivalent of earnings for a Bitcoin treasury company.
Again, I don't know how much juice partnerships we have, but that's coming out now. U.S. projects crude output to fall in 2026.
Generating $8.4 billion of shareholder value at zero. And he's hoping that somehow the equity will trade to NAV. But what he's not paying attention to is, if we can issue preferred shares that yield 10% and invest it in Bitcoin, which has been going up 57% for the past 4.5 years, we're capturing the 47% arbitrage effectively risk-free for our common stock shareholders. And if you want to value the company, you have to value the company's ability to generate Bitcoin yield or Bitcoin gains over and above the actual holdings of the Bitcoin the company has.
So, as you said, you have about $60 billion, $64 billion worth of Bitcoin. Your company is worth about twice that at $106, $107 billion in market cap.
Hilton or Hyatt. Yeah, travel.
And you also have obviously an enterprise analytics software business. how do you break down the value of the rest of your company,
80, fire.
Bitcoin holdings?
Yeah, the laggers haven't went. I might smash them again.
If the company generates $10 billion of Bitcoin gains this year, you got to put a 10 or a 20 multiple on it, right? So the Bitcoin treasury company operation is worth a multiple of 10, 20, 30, or 40 times the BTC yield we're generating. That's the number one source of value for the operating business. And then the company also has $60 billion plus worth of Bitcoin. And I would say to investors, look at it that way. BTC
J&J,
dollar gain is like our earnings
those.
Equivalent.
J&J pop.
And then the Bitcoin NAV
it's actually
is the assets
pretty
on
small,
the balance sheet.
And there's no good play.
You should just look at the earnings
I've been looking at these
put
all
the
morning
multiple that you
trying to
think
find
is
one.
appropriate on it to come to
I could probably
an
take
opinion
literally. I
about
have a
the
bunch
value
of
of the entire enterprise.
Yeah, no, my order.
Michael, nobody has to explain the rapid rise in Bitcoin to me. I
it
started
could be
buying
conference
Bitcoins at
or something with a
$800.
drug.
I bought one as low as $600, but I spent them, unfortunately. How do you expect the asset to continue a price increase at these levels that we've seen? I mean, can it keep that up over the next 5 years, over the next
it could go to
10 years?
Or something.
And at what point do we see, winter
NVO,
coming again? Because
right.
that's been a permanent fixture of this asset class, right? It's gone from 0 or 1,000 to 20, and then back down to 3 or 4, and then up to 50, and then back down to 15, and now up to 110. Like, when does it drop again?
Winter's not coming back. We're past that. We're past that phase. If Bitcoin's not going to 0, it's going to $1 million. And you have all the evidence you need to determine that, right? The President of the United States has determined he supports Bitcoin.
NVO, bro, I kind of,
Scott Bessent supports Bitcoin.
I already went
Paul
big
Atkins
on the rollover.
Has shown himself to be
then
an
I'm like, dude, it's
enthusiastic
lagging,
believer
and every
of
time
Bitcoin
the
and
lag
digital
lags, it
assets.
hits.
Ken
I just don't want to
CFTC
overexpose.
feels the same way.
Because it's up 7%.
The banks are going to custody Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Bitcoin has gotten through its riskiest period. The accounting has been corrected. There's now only 450 Bitcoin a day available for sale by natural sellers. That's the miners. At this level, that works out to about $50 million of Bitcoin available for sale every day.
EBF?
If that $50 million is bought, then the price has got to move up to find any natural, any seller that's price sensitive. Now, if you do the math, you'll actually see the Bitcoin treasury companies by themselves are buying the entire natural supply.
Yeah.
BlackRock and the ETFs are buying another measure of that. And we've got nation-state actors coming into the space. So I think when Bitcoin rallies, if it surges to 500,000 or $1 million, then maybe we could talk about it crashing down by $200,000 a coin. But at the current price levels, it only takes $50 million to turn the entire drive shaft of the crypto economy one turn. And you've got the Trump media organization announcing $2.5 billion. You've got GameStop announcing $500 million. You've got my company that's raising billions and billions of dollars. So the writing is on the wall. Bitcoin's moving higher.
Okay, so there's a few things to dig into there. One, that in your words, Bitcoin winter is not coming back. I'm rereading Game of Thrones right now, so that statement gives me the shivers. But I did want to go to the competitive landscape.
So watch out,
that could either
that should be
and
bullish.
You went there naturally. You think about the
again
ETF
all day today on these rallies.
Out there.
Gold's been chilling.
For example, already up to $72
NVO, the lag
billion
went.
in assets. There's a lot of Bitcoin treasury companies that have come to the scene, as you mentioned. 21 Capital comes to mind, started by Jack Mallers, and they all have the intention of just accumulating Bitcoin. That would be good for the price, Michael, as you say. But do you worry about the competition out there to buy Bitcoin?
SPY's trying to advance, but that's the one lagging. Equal weights up by 0.4.
And everyone's competing for a
so you're actually getting way better
pie,
holding from everything else.
I think we're in a digital gold rush, and you've got 10 years to acquire all your Bitcoin before there's no Bitcoin left for you. The competition is a virtuous competition. Metaplanet's the hottest company in Japan right now. They went from 10 million to $1 billion market cap to a $5 billion market cap. They're going to raise billions of dollars. They're going to pull the liquidity out of the Japanese market. So they'll be raising capital in Tokyo on the Tokyo Stock Exchange. Obviously, none of the rest of us are trading or selling equity in the Tokyo Stock Exchange. So it's not competitive. It's cooperative. There are companies coming public in Brazil right now, like Orange BTC, that'll come public in some time frame, and Melius. They're actually supporting equity capital markets in Brazil. You know, the GameStops, they already had $6 billion of capital, and so for them to start to take some of that capital and funnel into Bitcoin, it's good for all of us. Nakamoto in 21, they'll bring their own particular twist.
Where is he?
Our company is a very particular business
Trump
model.
talks
it's to
about
issue
wildfire
Bitcoin-backed
response.
credit instruments like Bitcoin-backed bonds and especially Bitcoin-backed preferred stocks. We're the only company in the world that's ever been able to issue a preferred stock backed by Bitcoin. We've done 3 of them in the past 5 months.
Yeah, I can't find the
we're not
feed.
competing against the Bitcoin treasury companies. We're competing against ETFs like PFF that have portfolios of preferred stocks or corporate bond portfolios that are trading as ETFs in the public market. And the way we compete is we offer 400 basis points more yield on an instrument that is much more heavily collateralized and more transparent. And we're not going to saturate that market anytime soon. That's $100 trillion or more of capital in those markets.
It sounds like, you know, when you talk about what you're doing in terms of financial engineering, in terms of financial markets with Bitcoin, clearly you're doing a lot more than just holding the Bitcoin, so it's, I think, unfair to compare you to an ETF, but it sounds like you may be inviting competition from a JP Morgan, for example, which then makes me wonder,
the Department of Interior and the Department of Agriculture employ over 17,000 federal wildland firefighters every year.
I only got 20 minutes on my preview, bro.
Capacity, our surge with their interagency, tribal, state, local, will have approximately 13,000 additional wildfire personnel. We know that the best and most cost-effective way to stop these terrible fires is to remove the fuel load that feeds them. And we can talk a little bit about the timber executive order and the timber leadership the president has led on. We are working at both of our agencies to eliminate all red tape, cut costs, and increase our timber sales and active management to reduce the intensity of these wildfires when they start. We are increasing timber production by 25%, thanks to President Trump, with the goal of not only supporting our industry partners and our rural communities, but also reducing the number of catastrophic wildfires. Finally, both the Forest Service reducing hazardous fuels on our 4.2 million acres and the Department of Interior on their 2.4 million acres annually, getting rid of the low value, overgrown trees, and brush crowding of our forests. One final point, we are 96% capacity in terms of our firefighting hiring, and this is actually ahead of where President Biden and his team was a year ago. So I want to make sure that's very clear. We are all on board and moving forward with a fully operational. We will be more ready than ever before for this season. Thank you so much.
Please, Doug. Well, thank you, Mr. President, and thank you, Secretary Rollins, for the partnership that we have between the U.S. Forest Service and the Department of Interior. There's over 700 million acres of surface land that the federal government manages in this country. And under President Trump's orders, we are now actually managing that land. When we get back into timber production as driven by his EO, we're actually then helping rural communities. We're helping people that are in the lumber business, helping bring those lumber products back home. As we stepped away from this industry, President Trump is now bringing it back. And we, as a nation, we're now, before President Trump backing up, we were burning more timber than we were harvesting in this country. When we spend a dollar on prevention, we save hundreds of dollars on the back end on firefighting. This is going to save Americans dollars when we're out there preventing fires and stopping fires when they begin versus letting these fires become huge and then causing the destruction we have. With the growth of our country around urban areas, there's been a 30% growth of what's called the wildlands and urban interface. When this happens, people start building homes, like the tragedy that President Trump visited in California, where so many people lost their lives. But this is where we're essentially creating cities in the middle of forests, but not doing the forest management and creating that deadly fire load out of there. But now we intermix communities with above ground power lines. This can lead to dangerous situations. So President Trump committed to us doing fire management. We'll reduce that fire load. In addition to that, there's a proposal, which Russ has included in the president's OMB budget, for the unification, because between Secretary Rollins and the U.S. Forest Service across Interior, we have 4 different firefighting groups across U.S. Fish and Wildlife, the Bureau of Land Management, the Bureau of Indian Affairs.
Okay, that was a number of individuals in the Oval Office. Secretary Nome, Secretary Bergen, Russ Vought was in there, Brooke Rollins, Secretary of Agriculture in there as well.
So I'm getting headlines, but if you want to listen to it, that's the only place I can see it live.
Management, and if you live in certain parts of the country right now, including my home state of Minnesota, you know very well that is a very real issue. Those are the Canadian wildfires in the upper Midwest.
Okay, shut up.
We have to work with the states because this year there have been 1.2 million acres already burned. Only 25% of that's been on federal. The other 75% has been on state lands or private lands. And so together we have to work to protect America's resources. And under President Trump's leadership, we've got the guidance through the EOs to make that happen.
Thank you very much.
You closed nice.
Great job. Aola. Russell, no?
Sure. Thanks, Mr. President. From a funding perspective, the accounts that support the important work that these cabinet secretaries are doing are funded. They're flushed. The main one, the Disaster Relief Fund, has $13 billion. It's projected to get us all the way into the end of the fiscal year. So we're in a very good place.
NKTR has
personally been a steward of the taxpayer resources.
Oh yeah, I saw. I forgot to read it out loud. They did say Section 899 they're delaying.
To put us in the position where we are ready
STM,
to
jeez.
Thank you.
Great job. Thanks, Russ.
Thank you.
Yeah, Mr. President, we are in hurricane season right now. It will last for the next several months, and we are prepared for what is coming. We are anticipating that we will have higher than usual activity during this hurricane season. We could have 3 to 5 major storms, up to a dozen other hurricane level thresholds that we will meet throughout this season. And FEMA stands prepared and has been working with all of our regions on training, pre-deploying resources, making sure that individuals are out there ready to respond to
I
each
can't
state
believe this, bro.
as they bring the
I thought it was going to chill eventually.
to take care of their people. But also, sir, you've been very clear that you want to see FEMA eliminated as it exists today. So I'm preparing all of these governors that they will have more control over the decisions on how they respond to their communities so that it can help it happen faster, that they can pre-deploy resources and help coordinate on communication as well. So while we are running this hurricane season, making sure that we have pre-staged and worked with the regions that are traditionally hit in these areas, we're also building.
I don't know the news on Disney. They came out, they said stuff that they're not going to spin it off. There was another Hulu update, but they've just been running as of late, even from their last earnings.
Government coming in
And it could be Lilo and Stitch, bro.
Funding, but
that too.
We all know
Again,
from the past
movie
that
releases,
FEMA has
except for
failed
Snow White,
thousands,
have
if
been
not
pretty
millions
decent.
of people. And President Trump does not want to see that continue into the future. So this agency fundamentally needs to go away as it exists, and we need to have a response to states that supports them when terrible things come and when the worst day of their lives happens, to where the financial resources are there, but they have decision-making power right there in the state to respond. So the next several months, we expect it to be high activity, and the federal government is here to support the people of the United States. With President Trump's leadership, while he's doing that, he's also going to make sure that they're better set up for the future so that they have the ability to really take care of their families when a crisis or a terrible storm does hit. We've got many governors that
like I'm saying, JP Morgan just woke up out of nowhere. You had regionals, but again, if financials lead, that'll be good. Russell came down a little bit from the highs, but Russell's still up, and now NASDAQ Inspired kind of catching up to it. And then we're still hugging the high right now.
Who is very happy, and the Missouri governor as well, who is very happy. As soon as something happens in their state, I'm in direct communication with the governors to make sure they have what they need, but also making sure that they have the ability to make decisions to respond to the people that live in their states.
860, we're 1 point off the highs.
Everybody. So we want to wean off of FEMA. and we want to bring it down to the state level. A little bit like education.
Oh, what happened? Wait, they just ended? Oh, no.
Great job, everybody. So we want to wean off of FEMA.
Gonna cut out again.
And we want to bring it down to the state level. A little bit like education, we're moving it back to work in conjunction with other governors. They'll give each other a hand. But it was a disaster, FEMA. And it has not worked out well. It's extremely expensive. And again, when you have a tornado or a hurricane,
House,
or
yeah, watch financials too, though. Those are waking up right now.
In a state, that's what you have governors for. They're supposed to fix those problems. And it's much more local, and they'll develop a system, and I think it'll be a great system. And also when it comes to forest fires. So for years I've been meeting with heads of other countries, and they are forest countries. They call themselves forest, Austria and others. And they say, we're a forest nation, we live in a forest, and they don't have forest fires. And in one case he said, you know, our trees are much more flammable than California, but we don't have forest fires because we clean the floor, we sweep the floor of leaves, of dead debris, of trees that fall, because after 18 months, the tree is like it's like tinder wood, and it goes up, it virtually explodes. Well, we don't take the trees out. California is a disaster, what they've done in California. They don't do anything. And if you did, you almost would not have forest fires. And you could say in theory, you shouldn't have any forest fires. And we spend billions and billions of dollars a year because people don't clean the forests. And we're going to clean the forests. We're going to start cleaning them. We're going to get rid of dead wood. The environmentalists say, oh no, let it regenerate. It doesn't regenerate. It just sits there and it usually catches fire. And we're going to have a whole new system, and it's called forest management. And if you look at some of these countries in Europe and other places that literally live in forests, very
that's it, bro. Nibis has done the pull up, come down.
And they call me.
Disney
they don't even
120,
know
a couple dollars away from a multi-year high.
We have, and the people behind me know that very well. And we're going to start working on that system, and we're going to save a lot of trees. We're also going to cut down trees and replant new trees. And that whole industry is going to be growing because we don't need the help of anybody. We have just about more, or as much, but more than almost anybody else in terms of lumber and wood. So we're going to be doing some great work having to do with forest fires. It's going to start effective, really it started a few months ago, and it's forest management. And Doug, I think you're really the head of that. Interiors, I guess you're the largest landlord perhaps anywhere in the world. I understand. That's a nice position.
Big,
you may want to
trees.
just give
high ticker's gassing you guys. You're 1 point off the highs. Look at the high-low ticker, though.
Well,
not much on the low, and then a lot of other names broadening out. Pepsi, Staples, healthcare, small caps, a couple of 52-week highs as well.
700 million acres of surface area. Much of that is in forest land. That is a tremendous resource. It's part of America's balance sheet. When we let it burn, then we actually have to spend money coming through FEMA and other places. So we spend taxpayer dollars cleaning up a mess that could have been prevented. Under President Trump, when we get back into the timber business, which up to 30 years ago, we were one of the great timber producers in the world. The communities thrived in these rural communities. We had lumber mills, we had manufacturing, we had furniture makers in this country. All of that went away when we stopped harvesting our own timber. And today we import about as much timber as we used to harvest ourselves. If we can get back in the timber business, that can help on the balance of trade, reduce imports from foreign countries, and have American jobs. But to make that all happen, again, under President Trump's leadership, we have to get back in the timber business and get back in the game. And when we do that, we have to make sure that we're doing prevention, not just fighting fires after they all get out of control. And so again, working with OMB and others to make sure that we've got the budget for doing the prevention work and the forest management upfront, reduces the expense.
Yeah, Pepsi finally moved. And watch J&J and a couple of other staples, but yeah, they're going.
Across all of our 5 different major firefighting groups today, it's like having 5
Nibis is waking up. The premiums aren't, they're higher than the bottom though. So you kind of don't get the same double dip opportunity.
Regardless of which service.
Oust is at 16 now. That one's climbing still.
That we're going to have everybody equipped with the right technology to protect them when they're out in the field. Just basic stuff that that they don't have today that we were giving our military 20 years ago in terms of, and then using technology to be able to identify fires when they first start. I mean, with infrared, satellite, drones, I mean, there's technology where we can pick out a fire when it just barely begins and it costs us nothing to put it out, versus when it scales up and becomes these massive fires that endanger communities, lives, and our firefighters. So President Trump, of course, has got a common sense strategy.
Again, you're near the high.
He's empowering all of the leadership that's standing up here today for us to go get this job done. It's going to get America back in the timber business. We're going to put out fires when they're small.
Sezzle.
When we can't control.
Again, that's at like a firm payment company. Didn't they say they're suing somebody
from
today?
Those timber sales, as opposed to those timber leases to the private companies, as opposed
Indonesia
to
to hand out cash, rice as Southeast goods for U.S. tariffs.
Yeah, so the whole thing makes complete sense. And Brooke and I and Christy and Russ, we're all excited to go out.
Okay, Bond's even coming back down again.
And we have some of the best timber anywhere in the world, and we don't use it.
There was no details on the China talks, no. We just know that they ended and then going on.
I know, environmental restrictions,
but no real update.
Ridiculous. And a lot of it's been freed up. The rest of it's being freed up. Some areas.
China trade talks are ongoing, working out technical details. That's literally coming out right now as you ask that.
We have some of the best in the world. And when I hear you say that we lost more in fires than we produce, is so crazy.
Chips are running.
Very much at all. I could say we should.
Yeah, bro. AMD, Nvidia, AMD actually a little bigger.
It should not be ever like what we've seen. We're sending billions of dollars to California all the time because, obviously, in California they are not doing a good job in any way, shape, or form. Any other thing either. So with that, I'm heading to Fort Bragg right now. I think the helicopter's landing as we speak. But if you want, we'll take a few questions.
Mr. President, will you invoke the Insurrection Act to deal with the situation in California?
If there's an insurrection, I would certainly invoke it. We'll see. But I can tell you, last night was terrible. The night before that was terrible. We have, as you've seen, it was on most of your networks, people with big, heavy hammers pounding the concrete and pounding curbs, breaking up and handing these big chunks of concrete to people. And they were taking that concrete, going up on bridges and dropping it into the roof of a car. They were throwing it at our police. They were throwing it at our soldiers that are there. And we got it stopped, and we have them in custody right now. Look, if we didn't get involved, right now, Los Angeles would be burning, just like it was burning a number of months ago with all the houses that were lost. Los Angeles right now would be on fire, and we have it in great shape. We're not playing around.
How will you determine whether or not there is an insurrection?
Well, you'll take a look at what's happening. I mean, I could tell you there were certain areas of Los Angeles that you could have called it an insurrection. It was terrible. But these are paid insurrectionists. These are paid troublemakers. They get money. And when you take a look at what they do, where they show up and everyone's saying, what's he doing? He's pounding the curbs. This one guy's pounding the curb, breaking the curb, and handing big pieces of granite. In some cases, it's granite and concrete to other people. And they're running out with it. And then we watch the other people, and they try and throw it into the face of the soldiers, throw it into the face of the police, and they hurt some people very badly.
Yeah,
they go up on bridges, they drop it down on the cars as the cars are moving. They're not breaking the curb because they're doing a demolition service. They're breaking it to hand out to people as a weapon. It's bad stuff. I've never seen that before.
Mr. President,
paid for by the Walmart family. There's literally evidence.
And what's your message to the governors about how much more we're going to expend to hold the states?
Well, it's not going to be so much the states. We're going to give out less money. We're going to give it out directly. It'll be from the president's office. We'll have somebody here. Could be Homeland Security, but we're going to give it out through a method where it's given out. As an example, I just gave out $71 million to a certain state. They were looking to do about 120. They were very happy with the 71 million. We did a little cutting, and they were very happy with it. So we're going to do it much differently. We think after this, Christy, I'd say after the hurricane season, we'll start phasing it in.
Yes, sir. You set up a FEMA council over the next couple of months. We'll be working on reforms and what FEMA will look like in the future as a different agency, as under the Department of Homeland Security to the President's vision, and it will empower governors to go out and respond to emergency situations and that what the president does best is to make sure that the taxpayers are only fulfilling the need to which is appropriate, and that
oh shit, do you guys know what Magan was? Magan's getting added to the Russell 3000.
State, as an example, gets hit by a hurricane or tornado. That's what a governor, a governor should be able to handle it. And frankly, if they can handle it, the aftermath, then maybe they should.
And then tomorrow they have the conversation because those things are running.
A day ago, called him up to tell him got to do a better job. He's doing a bad job, causing a lot of death and a lot of potential death. If we didn't send out the National Guard, and last night we gave him a little additional help, you would have Los Angeles would be burning right now. Los Angeles would be not a lot different than what you saw take place in California and Los Angeles just a little while ago. And you got to remember we have the Olympics coming.
Chips are still going.
And we don't want people looking at Los Angeles like it would have been. It would have been bad. Last night they had total control.
Wayfair and Spy, where are we?
National Guard. And then we also
new
sent
high,
in
60-28, again 60-30 and 33, but really
people, they look in your face and
60-50,
they
that's
spit right in your face. They're animals. And these are paid insurrectionists. These are paid troublemakers. They're agitators. They're paid. Do you think somebody walks up to a curb and starts hammering pieces out, has all the equipment necessary, and starts handing it out to people to use as a weapon?
No, that's a good point.
These are paid insurrectionists or agitators.
Nobody
or
does that. Who
troublemakers.
does
You can
that? Who
call it
sits
whatever
in?
you
Who
want.
has all the equipment?
And we ended
Nobody.
it, and we have in custody some very bad people. Some very bad people.
Mr. President.
Did you see the guy throwing the rocks at the police cars as they went by?
Several.
And crushing their windows and endangering our police? We're not going to let that happen,
Pardon me, Mr. President, on those Marines, Governor Newsom has described them as political pawns. I'm curious for your reaction to that and what you see as the Marines' role and what are their rules of engagement?
All I want is safety. I just want a safe area. Los Angeles was under siege until we got there. The police were unable to handle it. You can speak to the chief. He said it on television 3 nights ago. He said, this is more than we can handle. They said that. And the LA police, I know a lot of the police in LA, they're good, they're great people, but they're given instructions not to do this, not to do that. But in this case, they were trying their best. They were not able to handle it. It was out of control. When we got there, and you have to remember, I've been here before, and I went right by every rule, and I waited for governors to say, send in the National Guard. They wouldn't do it. They wouldn't do it, and they just wouldn't do it. It kept going on and on, got worse and worse. And in Minneapolis, that city was burning down 7 days, and I said, I don't care. The governor, who's a governor that just happened to be running for vice president, you talk about an incompetent governor. He's an incompetent person. That he was picked, well, I was actually very happy he was picked for other reasons. But this guy wouldn't call the National Guard. And we ultimately just sent in the National
Watch
Guard.
Oil OPEC is very concerned by IEA flip-flopping on investment.
If that stuff happens again, we've got to make faster decisions because they don't want to do it. The radical left, it's usually radical left and it's usually governors that are Democrat, and they don't want to call them in. They don't want to save lives. They don't want to save property. They don't want to call them in. I don't know what it is. We sent them in not early. We sent them in late, as far as I'm concerned.
Will continue at 8
But
p.m.
big
local
problems,
time.
as you know, 3 nights ago, big problems were ensuing. If we didn't send in the National Guard quickly, right now, Los Angeles would be burning to the ground.
The Marines is, a lot of people think, an escalatory step, though. These are guys who fight wars. Are you at all concerned that things could get out of hand with Marines
when I see people
American City?
Throwing concrete into cars, when I see people, the kind of people that I saw on your network doing danger to the police and to the military and to the National Guard, no, it's okay. You start running out of people. When you have 2,000 people from a National Guard standpoint, we have a very big military. But the National Guard, they needed a little extra help. And we sent them a little, and we did a great job last night. We had, you got a lot of cars go up in smoke and flame, and a lot of bad scenes, but it was pretty minor by comparison. This morning it's very calm. We'll see what happens later. But they know if they go there, they're not going to get anywhere because we have the National Guard there. We backed it up with a number of Marines,
Mr.
Mr. President, do you agree with Governor Abbott soon signing legislation to mandate the 10 Commandments in school classrooms?
Having to do with what?
Eli Lilly
Governor
now.
Abbott is soon going to sign
And then J&J round 2.
I have to take a look at it. I'm going to have to look at it.
Will the National Guard be in California?
And then I'll show you guys something after this for all you cuties.
Until there's no danger.
And then let me remind you, we're going
It's
Philo
easy.
in
Look,
30
it's
minutes.
common sense. You ask me that
If you have
question.
not
When there's no
purchased the
danger,
membership,
they'll leave.
please ask the Chad. They will all
would
tell
have
you
had
it's worth it because I will
a
punish them
horrible
if they don't.
situation had I not
So
said
welcome
that,
to the
man.
cult.
Horrible.
Obviously, I'm
You'd be
joking, but if
reporting
you're a
on
dense
a lot of
individual,
death
you
and a
may
lot of
not want the
destruction that's not
membership,
gonna take
and you
place.
won't vibe
I
here.
think
So
if you
yeah,
look
but
every
the
night,
less
it got
than
less
30
and less.
minutes.
They were met with very strong force.
Thank
The bad
you.
people, the bad, sick people that do what they do. But these are paid people in many cases, not in all cases, but in many
U.S.
cases.
to
And,
send 9,000 migrants to Guantanamo.
They really are. They're
Politico.
agitators.
I was wondering
I
if
did
you had
say
any,
cuties, yes.
response to Mexican President Sheinbaum, who condemned the violence there. Have you been in touch with her at all?
Said what?
I was wondering if you had any
Sats news,
response
satellites.
to what Mexican President
I mean, if it's
Claudia
linked to
Sheinbaum
Apple.
said in
What'd she
response.
say?
She condemned the violence in LA.
Oh, they're getting clapped.
Have you been in touch with her at all?
Well, you think I don't
You
condemn
could
it?
confirm it's
I
worth it.
condemn the
Definitely
violence
worth
in
it.
LA,
Wow.
ladies and
Well, there you
gentlemen.
go.
But I also stopped the violence in LA. And
I also
by
stopped
doing
it.
what I did, I stopped the violence
I
in
stopped
LA.
it.
And that would have been, I think, maybe I'd ask Christie to speak to that. That would have been an unbelievable tragedy. We would be talking, I don't know that would even be here right now. It would have been so bad. I'd probably
Merck and
maybe be out
Coca-Cola
there.
on the high. Again,
I don't
Sats,
know, but Christie,
they
could you
got
speak
some
to
stuff.
that?
Absolutely.
Disney's
So in
still
2020,
ripping.
I
Pizza,
was
pizza.
a governor of a neighboring state to Tim
We haven't
Walz
had
and
as much
watched him
pizza
let his
pizza
city
today.
burn. And the
Okay,
president and I talked
GH.
about this in the past, and he's
Guardian,
not going to
pop.
let that happen to another city and to another community where a bad governor made a bad decision. So Claudia Sheinbaum came out and encouraged more
underground.
protests
You're the
in
first
LA,
one,
and I
baby.
condemn
Thank
her for
you.
that. She should not be encouraging violent protests that are going on. If people are allowed to peacefully protest, but the violence that we're seeing is not acceptable and it's not going to happen in America. This president is standing up for the average American who wants to walk their child to school every day safely, run their small business, and provide
Sir
for their
Mick
families.
Shine?
That's the action that he's taken. He
I
has
don't-
every
I don't know
authority
what
under
to
the
say.
Constitution to send these National Guard under Title X
Al's
into
still
these
going.
communities and make sure that operations go smoothly, that law enforcement officers are protected, that they can continue to do their work without fear of being injured or killed or disrespected, and that they can go home to their families at night. So I'm incredibly proud of the president for activating the National Guard and for sending in these Marines, because these Marines are specifically trained to meet the need that we have on the ground in LA right now. And Governor Newsom has done a disservice to the state of California for many years. The people there should never elect him into a leadership position ever again. He
The
clearly
governor's a
cannot.
nice guy, but he's grossly incompetent.
Terrible
When it comes
governor.
to his railroad that he's building, where it's like 30 times over budget, nobody's ever seen anything like it. Now it doesn't even go to San Francisco and LA. It's way short of it. After years of work and overruns like nobody's, those contractors are some of the wealthiest people in the world, I guarantee you that. Because that money goes to those contractors. They just did a number on the wallet of the people of California. That train, you should look at that train. That is the greatest. I've never seen cost overruns. I've seen cost overruns and great incompetence over my life. I've never seen anything like that.
Mr. President, these protests obviously started in reaction to these large-scale ICE operations in Los Angeles. Should people expect to see similar operations in the rest of the country?
Yeah.
And will similar protests see similar response?
As you know, we're moving murderers out of our country that were put here by Biden or the auto pen. The auto pen really did. I mean, the people, whether it's Lisa Monaco or whoever operated the auto pen, these are criminals. People are criminals that allowed these criminals into our country. And I don't think that Biden knew what the hell he was doing. I don't think he even knew about it. But when they opened up our borders for the whole world to come in, yeah, we're going to get them out. We're getting them out. We're starting to get acknowledgement from the courts that, there's a system. They come in without courts and they go out, they want trials and everything else. I think that's starting to work out now. Judges are starting to see what a terrible situation it is. Many of those people that you saw on television last night are criminals that were allowed into our country by Biden. And they want to stay, and we don't want them. And they come from jails, and they come from mental institutions, and they come from all over the world, not just South America. And we're not going to let them stay. And this is the first, perhaps, of many, or perhaps, if we didn't attack this one very strongly, you'd have them all over the country. But I can inform the rest of the country that when they do it, if they do it, they're going to be met with equal or greater force than we met right here. We did a great job. The people, you, Christy, and Tom Holman, and all of the people, Pete Hegseth, all of the people involved did an amazing job. We stopped a disaster. And it looks like a planned disaster, this didn't just happen. They had weapons, they had tools, they had everything you needed. I mean, they were throwing iced water in bottles, in glass bottles, at officers and at soldiers. These are, you could not use the word insurrection, but you could also use the word, these are very dangerous people, they're bad people. They were met with heavy force and they folded. And they may be there a little bit tonight, they may be there a little bit, but it seems to be getting less and less because they're going there and they're met with a very heavy force. And if they weren't, you would have that city right now would be on fire. It would be burning down. The rest of it, what's left over, because the other fire was started because they wouldn't allow water into LA. They wouldn't allow water into California because they had it all shifted out to the Pacific Ocean. And I turned it around. And I told them to do it in my first term, and they didn't do it. We had COVID, and they didn't do it. And I told them to do it. We did it in the second. Now we have billions of gallons of water flowing down. But Newsom should have done this. He's an incompetent man and an incompetent governor. Okay, any other questions?
Mr. President, any message to adversaries as the Army kicks off 250-year birthday celebration?
I just think it's amazing. We're going to have a fantastic June 14th parade, Flag Day. It's going to be an amazing day. We have tanks, we have planes, we have all sorts of things. And I think it's going to be great. We're going to celebrate our country for a change. Recently, as you know, with World War II, the victory of World War II, I called up France and they were celebrating the victory. Well, we helped them a lot, as you know. I don't have to get into that. But I called up other countries. They were all celebrating the victory. We're the only country that didn't celebrate the victory. And we're the one that won the war. Okay, if it wasn't for us, that war, you would be speaking German right now, okay? We won the war, and you might be speaking Japanese too. I mean, you might be speaking a combination of both. We won the war, and we're the only country that didn't celebrate it. And we're going to be celebrating big on Saturday. We're going to have a lot of, and if there's any protester wants to come out, they will be met with very big force. By the way, for those people that want to protest, they're going to be met with very big force. And I haven't even heard about a protest, but, this is people that hate our country. But they will be met with very heavy force.
Mr. President, one last
Thank you very much,
California.
everybody.
Thank you, press.
Thank you.
Press. Let's move out. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right, there you have it. President Trump speaking from the Oval Office.
Oh, yes, I was muted. My bad. I made oust free. Those went up 200%. But I was telling you, a lot of you guys kept, and you're saying, oh, like, it's easy to make fun of Donald Trump, and they keep saying that this is paid for, and some of you guys are, like, acting like he's being ridiculous, but, there is evidence, and this is it. There's ads going around in newspapers, paid political ads by the Walmart family about protesting. Literally, look at the damn dates. So that's the first one, okay? And then there's more clips of it. It's all over Twitter. Then you have all of the people, again, they literally, they're getting these, like, armor masks in massive supply, and they're like, where do you get these? These are super expensive, and it's literally Walmart pallets, okay? And then, are you ready for the final one? This one's the best one. This one, I think, is hilarious, because there's data. Remember, they're tracking cell phones, okay? So if you look at the GPS data, at least 300 of the devices in some of these danger zones, they reside in $10 million plus residences, from Brentwood to Bel Air to Palo Alto, and 79% of them fly private 3 or more times a year. These are very likely billionaire trust fund kids. So, like I'm saying, all of this is fucking weird. And if you don't think that people are being paid to cause this, then you might be naive towards the situation. I don't mean that negatively, but I see you guys being cute about it, and I encourage you, maybe just open up Twitter and you will stumble across information. Like I'm telling you, literal paid advertisements to organize people by the Walmart family. That is undisputable. That is objective. Call it whatever you want, but there's literally people paying to organize this, and you could see that evidence very, very accessibly. So yeah, it's very wild, very, very wild. Yeah, just amen. That just means we still got way too much money floating around, right? Let's go, dude. I don't even know how to say your name. I'm gonna just call you McShine. What up, baby? You gotta show people shoving in the vans. I don't, and I'm not going to, because like I said yesterday, you should have just let ICE do wrong, and then people would have called it out. I would have called it out. But this isn't about immigration. I don't see it as that. I see this as government defiance and people inciting a riot. That's what it is. So I stand with my immigrants. My family is immigrants, and there's a lot of people in here, and I know who feel the same way. But this is weird. Again, we are not supporting excessive violence, bro. For what? You get what and then like I'm telling you, it's organized by people. Why don't they just give this money to people who need it? Why are you spending it on masks and advertisements? Why is there a bunch of rich people who has time? We got to go to work. It's like, what? So it's very, very wild. But unfortunately, I think your government leaders, by them acting like this, they took away the conversation that should be happening. The conversation should be about proper treatment of immigrants, even if Donald Trump wants to remove them. That should be the conversation, and that's why people are rioting. But sadly, a lot of people, including myself, we just see unnecessary violence, and it's hard to see that, and it's hard to have that discussion when they're burning shit to the ground. And now we're talking about this riot, another one, get ready for this one. It's like, come on. It's very unfortunate. So I feel the sentiment, but it's like, I hope you guys see it. And then when you see the evidence of how this is all organized, it's kind of shitty. So, yeah. But welcome. Welcome, welcome. Bob up. KO and GM. You gotta denounce J6 too. No, you don't. Dude, you guys are crazy. Hey man, bro, I'll let you be. You know, I'm pretty sure Donald Trump on January 6th even said don't do it. I'm not playing this game. If you guys want to fall for the propaganda and you want to believe what is clearly in front of you, you have your own mind. You could read, like I was telling you, think for your fucking self. Okay, don't even listen to me, because clearly some of you do not. But it's not. I look. Don't let your eyes deceive you. Look right now. Look. Open your eyes and see what is in front of you. Is the best I could give you. All right. On that note, though, I think it's time. We got 10 minutes. So I do need to start getting shut up. I love it. Oh, they're still replaying the Trump thing. So I'm glad we already got to listen. That was hard to get for some odd reason. Okay. All right, you're running again. High Ticker just got a pop. We got some Bond stuff, but that doesn't really matter as much. We'll Yeah, we haven't heard the readout. They're going to continue tomorrow on the talks. You didn't believe it was a big deal till you saw families split up. I mean this respectfully. I don't believe you. I think you're fooling yourself. Because think about when Obama did it. And then again, it's not like Joe Biden had the best standards of the fucking border. So, like I'm saying, you guys, this isn't live in the moment. Look at what you see right now. Trying to justify, again, government officials telling you to riot low key. But think what you want. I'm not having this conversation with some of y'all. It's just not. You guys have made up your mind. I have made up mine too, but again, and I do care about immigrants and other things, but I'm saying, this is a next level of violence that there's no way around it. I don't think, I think it's odd. Did they clap me on this? Probably. It is. That's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of people say stuff and there's evidence. That's why I'm acting like this. That's why I'm shutting you guys down, because there's literally evidence proving you wrong. So when you're like, no one's paying for it, no, there is. There's evidence of that. Again, you're like, oh, it's hard, and then they're ripping families apart. It's like, literally, they have deported more people under Biden, Obama, and Clinton than right now. Donald Trump's doing a shitty job right now at deporting them comparatively. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so that's why I can't tolerate these talks. You guys are not speaking on real info. You guys are making shit up. Do you get what I'm saying? You are emotionally reacting to whatever point you want to prove. But like I'm saying here, it's just like, dude, come on. There is evidence to every point that is being brought up. Why? Oh, Vasily, why? Bro, how are you, Vasily? How are you doing, bro? How are you, man? V's in the house. Woo! Yo, V, is your day going good today, bro? My man, then get ready. We are going to Philo soon. All right. Yeah, V. So, V, you remember when I said I was going to ban you and then the Chad hid you? Yeah, mother effer. So, yeah, you owe me $5 if you want to talk again. Thank you. Yeah, I ain't forget. You crazy. All right, I'll see you guys on Philo if you would like to be there. If not, we'll see you around Power Hour. New highs on the long term, and run it. All right, I will see you there, in peace.